our Wrestle Kingdom segment this week. I am going to give you a little bit of wrestling love. Check out the work of Cedric Alexander, the Carolina Caveman. He is on all of 2014 Pro Wrestling Guerrilla releases, and with the exception of DDT4. And I'm sure you can find a bevy of his art on YouTube. So Cedric Alexander. No, not Cedric Alexander. He's good too. Ah, fuck it. I fucked up my whole thing. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio. Not Cedric Alexander.
The Entertainer.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 131 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture. It is navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band.
Navigated by the Deadite.
We drink booze and we win championship belts. And we also screw up Cedric the Entertainer's name.
Yes.
Don't talk to me.
And and we also shovel a lot.
Well, fucking tell me, Johnny. You know how I did my fucking day?
No, tell us.
How about I show you?
It was the suck.
All right.
All right.
I realized I hadn't tested my snowblower until Sunday.
Oh, you lost a hand.
I got the
Trevor
hands.
Lee. Trevor Lee
the
is who you
hands.
want to pick out. Trevor Lee. Check that dude out.
What about Cedric the Entertainer?
Yeah.
He's good too.
Kings of comedy.
He's good too.
Kings of wrestling.
Martin Luther King's of wrestling.
Yeah.
All right.
So you didn't do your snowblower.
So I
Sorry.
tested my snowblower on Sunday. I was very excited.
Yep.
I got to go out yesterday. And Wife and Shadow, we don't do holidays or marriage well together, but we do shoveling well together. Go to start my snowblower, give it a yank. Fucking this happens.
You brought the fucking thing?
What the fuck for those at home? That sucked balls.
All right, yeah. For those watching it live, you can see Ravenshadow's snowblower handle.
Isn't it normally a cord and not like a clothesline rope? That looks like something you would tug a toboggan behind you with.
Well, I don't know what it was, but that's how it makes it go on, and it fucking pulled off in my hands.
So you taking it to someone to get it fixed, or?
No, the fine folks at Briggs and Stratton, they have an electric start.
Oh, nice.
Which is good, which saved me. But yeah, I was standing there with my fucking dork in my hand, shoveling. It sucked. Fuck Snowmageddon.
So did you actually did some shoveling?
I did, yeah.
So do you have a new name?
Yeah. In days like this, when snow bomb is coming in, that's right. Just calling your boy Michael RavenShovel. Can you dig it?
Nice. I would like a little kickback, please.
Yes, he needs some ripbacks,
Yeah.
if you will.
I'm running. I think it's, for somebody who gives me so much flack from somebody who's responsible for like 100% of your gimmicks.
And then you go and steal his gimmick.
Yeah.
You gave him a gimmick, and then you stole his.
Well, no, then he morphed his gimmick into my gimmick, and we only needed one rhyme and drunk, so I had to change things up.
You're gonna come inside when gimmicks collide.
That's great. Who's next, Johnny?
It's not many. Working on with the skeleton crew this week.
Trevor Lee, by the way, folks. Trevor Lee.
Why did you say Cedric?
Because we were talking about him before.
Maxwell.
Oh.
And I do like. I was saying earlier that I'm super impressed by Cedric Alexander's work in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla because I was underwhelmed by some of the stuff I saw in some other places, but turned up to 11. Mr. Alexander's awesome, but Trevor Lee, I'm all about it. He wrestles like Bruiser Brody, but is the size of Michael Ravenshadow. Nice. He does like deadlift German suplexes on people like Michael Elgin and stuff like that.
Who is like 4 of Michael Ravenshadow.
Right. Yeah. So, He garnered a lot of unfucking believables from Excalibur over Battle Los Angeles. So
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Escape from Los Angeles.
So we do have Skeleton Crew this week. Snowbama, Snowmageddon, Snowpocalypse, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
The Snowtown Murders.
The Snowtown Murders. It hit Necronomicon pretty hard, and most of us were pretty much stuck at home for at least 24 hours, if not longer.
Yeah.
I jacked off a lot yesterday.
Ooh.
How's that different from any other day?
We were honestly getting I'd say that we were in 25 of 30 of triple digit numbers.
That's no.
Yeah.
No.
What else did I have to do?
Shovel?
Read a book.
Well, that's what I was supposedly doing back there, but in the media room.
Oh.
I'm organizing my Ring of Honor DVDs.
I'm combing my hair.
Yeah.
Just fapping away.
I'm updating my website.
So we are down to hosts. We were supposed to have MonsterZero, and we're also supposed to have Tiny White. But what's up with MonsterZero? Did anyone hear?
I think it rhymes with fucking tenderoni. I think.
Blenderoni?
Blenderoni. It's triumphant return. He's back 2 episodes.
Yeah, I
He
think
was
it-
like fucking.
I think it rhymes with Mussy.
What? Cussy?
Yes.
Okay.
Though that does not rhyme with Mussy.
So we are down. And what about Tiny White? He went to speak at some monster hunting convention, and he got stuck down there. Is that
Yep. But the Yeti was around all week, so that was good.
What the? I think the Yeti did it on purpose.
I know the Yeti did it on purpose. I was like, this motherfucker's gone. He can't stab you like a moron. So come have fun. I hung out with the Yeti until it snowed, and then he walked all around. He felt like he's at home during Snowmageddon.
Ravenshadow, tell the folks a tale. I'm doing some promotion here. What's your fucking job? You should be doing promotion.
Yeah, check out us live.
No. Tell the story. You suck at promotion. So
I am not very good at it, no.
All right, you're telling me.
Hey,
I had to shovel my own driveway for the first time in like 20 years.
where was Freezy?
Huh?
Where was Freezy?
Beats me.
I thought he does all your shoveling.
I already told you I only needed one mean-spirited rhyming drunk.
You got the
For a
bonus
while, there was 3.
I like
story
I'm
time.
fucking,
Jesus.
trying here.
You don't have something to say?
Good question, Johnny. I'm glad you asked. I'm glad. I just wanted you to really just kind of wait for it and just really let it digest.
Which in radio terms is called dead air.
Yeah, you don't want to have that. You know what? I saw The American Sniper. It's not really joking there, but it was a really good fucking movie. Did you see that, Bradley Cooper?
No, I haven't.
No.
Well, don't let it get twisted because it doesn't have anyone with capes or there's no synth score to it. It involves a real person, but it was a good fucking movie. And
I bet you we watch more movies with real people in it than you do.
I don't know.
Like, we just don't watch movies with people in tracksuits.
You should. Speaking of that, I checked out the last James Gandolfini joint.
The last before
last.
he passed.
Well, he made it before he died,
Oh,
but didn't come out until recently.
sure wasn't zombie. He wasn't a zombie.
No, fucking bite your tongue, man. It's fucking the Italian Pope you're talking about.
It's the what?
The Italian Pope, James Gandolfini.
Look, we're on Twitch TV right now
Didn't
too.
he,
Fucking
hang out,
God.
didn't he hang out with Frodo?
No, that was Frodo.
He hung out with Frodo. Gandalf.
That was Gandalf. Yeah, Gandolfini. That's a fucking movie. He'll fucking show those hobbits something. He'll bust a slug in that Malbolgia.
So what was the last movie that had James Gandolfini in it?
Yeah.
It was called The Drop.
Was it about his last
Is that what happened when he?
I don't know.
Fuck you! That was fucking mean, man. He was a big guy. Didn't deserve what he got. But no, it had the Tom Hardy.
Wait, are you implying that at his 400-plus frame, he didn't deserve the heart attack that he received? Because I've been having one for 2 days, I think, and I think I earned it.
All right. Well, listen. Everyone's different. His body.
People are different. Yep.
Yeah, hard to produce that. Cobbs are weird. But no, it had Gandolfini. It had the Tom Hardy, and it had the original girl with the dragon tattoo. Whatever the fuck her name is.
This is a good show.
Buckle up. But I enjoyed that. That's real people.
Wow.
Yeah, fucking Twitter, Twitch TV. You really turned into a good episode.
I don't know. I'm not going to get in this argument with you.
We'll probably get into it later. Do you want to do it now or later?
I watch a lot of good mob movies.
Like what?
The Iceman.
Okay. Yeah, well, I didn't see that one yet. That was one. Bobby Drake.
Itchy the Killer.
And Scratchy.
Itchy and Scratchy, the killers.
Killer. That's Asians. Those aren't real people.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Can I go home? I
Where's
really
Tiny?
don't.
All right, so we're down a couple of people. Let me go ahead and introduce
Down some content.
everybody.
Down some jokes.
Are you gonna make up make up for the lack of MonsterZero?
I think I'm trying to. I'm bringing the show down and I'm causing dead air. That's what I have his script.
All right. I'm Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio and the Deadites. We also have the immortal gunslinger, the singer and lyricist for the Deadites, Dynamo Mars.
Hi, everybody.
How's the diet going, Dynamo?
Suck diddly yuck.
You still on it?
I am.
So the 2 weeks are up.
No. Now we start in a new level, which I successfully failed about 15 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
wasn't
glad
supposed
to
to have any.
contribute.
I wasn't supposed to have any fast food for a week. Though I don't consider there's a conflict of definition between me and my future ex-wife about what constitutes fast food. And to make matters worse, Tiny, who's somewhere else, I don't think he wants me to eat anything. Fruit's bad for me. This is bad for me. McDonald's is bad for me. Like he raises as much hell of blueberries as he does about a Big Mac. I don't know what I'm supposed to fucking eat. And then it's like, don't drink diet soda, but I'm on a diet. It's right in the name.
Yeah.
Well, they're not always exactly truthful, Dynamo, with the way they market product. You know that?
You know what? Drunk girls and soda, not always truthful, but always delicious.
All right. Let me see if our Twitch stream is working here. I'm gonna unmute it. Let's see if it works with the way they market product. You know that?
No, much
Oh,
shorter delay.
Whoa.
Soda, not always truthful, but always delicious.
deja vu. Right. Let me
more
see if our-
funny.
No, that is actually, you're right. It's much less of a delay. It's interesting, isn't it, Ravenshadow? Isn't that interesting?
It's fucking exciting, man. We got all these new options to broadcast from.
Options. We also have the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, hot pocket loving, comic book reading nerd, and the official smoke machine for the Deadites, Michael Ravenshadow.
That's right, Johnny. I got something to say, too.
All right.
How come on Monday night, out of all the fucking Facebook posts, ain't no motherfucker mentioned that they were showing the Royal Rumble for free?
You
on
knocked
Raw?
over Wade Boggs, you son of a bitch.
Wade Boggs.
What?
Number 29.
How do you know they were showing the Royal Rumble
26.
for free?
26. I'm dyslexic. My friend Kevin told me.
Did you watch it?
No, but Kevin wouldn't lie to me.
Because maybe no one else brought it up because those of us who saw it were completely underwhelmed.
Yeah, but hey, this is a wicked, underwhelming pay-per-view this Sunday.
Free? I invited you to watch it live,
I
mind
couldn't
you.
go.
Aries went.
Well, Aries got more free time.
I don't know about that. He plowed from Monday, like pretty much from when he left my house till still.
I don't know about his sex life, but
Where's Tiny?
He's not here.
Sucks.
He's hunting gators or something like that. Are there gator men? Lizard men or something like that, Dynamo?
I don't know. I've never been to where he is. Because there are gators.
In men.
I don't need them to be men to be scared of them.
The
Our
gator
good
chicks?
friend Andrew Olanen is going to get killed by a Lovecraftian beast in Costa Rica.
Well, that's too bad.
She keeps sending me pictures of tentacles hanging out of her mouth.
Are you sure that's what it is?
Tentacles?
Yeah.
Tentacles.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovecraft. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight, let me go ahead and let folks know what we're doing tonight.
Lovecraft macaroni and cheese.
No.
Can we go? Can we just end?
Yes.
Like, there's no coming back. Like, if this is somebody's first and last show, thanks for trying it. The only person that's not suffering through that is that subscriber we lost a little while ago.
So tonight on the show, we're going to review the film Pieces of Talent, which is an indie horror film which just came out last year, and I believe it's on DVD. I don't know if it's available on any VOD. Are you aware, Dynamo?
I don't think so. It's not available on Blu-ray.
Let me just do a quick little search here and see VOD. You can watch it online on Vimeo on demand, so you can go ahead and purchase it through Vimeo right there.
Ooh.
You can rent it for $5 or you can buy it for 10. So
I didn't know that was a thing.
yeah, Vimeo and YouTube is also doing that now, where you can put things behind a pay window, so to
Pay
speak.
window?
Yeah.
Why would I
We're
buy
gonna-
something on YouTube when I can watch Razorback for free all day?
Are you going to bring it to the pay window?
Yep, pay Wyndham.
The pay window?
Yep. Speaking of old gimmicks.
Yeah. So we're going to review that film, and then later on we're going to do a double tap. And the double tap, if you've never heard, is it's basically a segment where we talk about some of the cool stuff that we've been digging in the last, weeks to months or whatever. We want to tell you about some cool stuff you may or may not have heard of. So we're going to go ahead and discuss that later on in the show. And also we'll do some feedback. We get a little bit of feedback. We'll do that at the end of the show, and then we'll just wrap things up in a tiny little bow.
Tiny boa.
We have live chat room, and tonight's the first time we're broadcasting. We are simulcasting on YouTube, our website, and also on Twitch TV. So we have a new channel, twitch.tv/trickortreatradio. If Twitch TV is your thing, go check that out.
We are officially simulcasting in 3 times the places that anyone is listening.
But hey, we make it available if that one person wants to check it out. Ravenshadow, we have someone hanging out in our chat room. Why don't you go ahead and say hi to them and let us know what they have to say.
Speaking of that one person, hello fan. Big ups to Cody. And he has to say...
It's Nathan Cody Vance to you.
Yeah, it's Nathan Cody Vance to me for the block. He's really interested in hearing what us guys have to say about Pieces of Talent. Hadn't heard of it until you guys mentioned it.
Yep. And then what did he say? Oh my lord!
Oh my lord, that simulcast goodness! Thanks, Cody Nance.
No, Vance.
Vance.
Anyway, even when you say it right, you sound like you're saying it wrong.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't Vance and Cody the other Duke boys?
I think you're. Holy shit!
No, I
you're.
don't think you. It was.
Coy and Vance.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's close though.
Close.
It's missing a letter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It was Bo and Luke. They wanted more money. They got fired, and they brought in Coy and Vance.
Nathan Coy Vance. That's his name.
Oh shit! Thusly dubbed.
Just a good old boy. If he doesn't like it, you know what you have to say to him?
What's that?
If you don't like it, my name's RavenShovel. You dig?
You're right. Coy and Vance. Holy shit! I haven't even thought of them in at least 25 years.
Oh, I think about him every other day.
Long
I often think about Coy and Vance.
Is that what you do in the bathroom when your wife's trying to get you out?
Yeah, it's just fucking snowed a lot.
Honey, I'm combing my hair. Oh, Coy Vance, you guys are so sexy.
in all the times,
Never get enough spotlight.
in all the times I snapped the carrot yesterday, none of them were about Coy and Vance.
Was it about Bo and Luke?
No.
Ooh.
Oh, Cody likes it. So, all right.
Yeah.
So now he's Nathan Coy Vance.
Ooh, I like that. Welcome to Hazard County. Be a Necronomicon. Hang out with Roscoe P. Goldchain.
We currently have one viewer on Twitch TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it Cody on another...
We're sorry. Cody's watching on our website, which is through YouTube. So we use the YouTube feed to put on our website. But
We should just start talking about the movie. Like, this is an opportunity for us to get out of our own way for a change.
you're right. So there is some housekeeping though, Dynamo. I'm sorry. We have to get to this quick. We were going to review New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 9, but because we're without MonsterZero and without Tiny White, we wanted to wait on it because it just wouldn't be as much fun with the three of us. We have two people who are pretty well schooled in
Is
Japanese
MonsterZero
wrestling.
aware that he was supposed to watch it anyway? Like, I was curious about that.
I don't know.
Ugh.
We have two people well schooled in Japanese wrestling.
wrestling, man.
And one person who has no fucking clue what a Japanese person is.
Didn't you
What
know
are you
you're
talking
supposed to
about?
watch it? I don't watch wrestling, man. Did you see the Ryback? That's how those
Ryback.
conversations always go. He
That's-
will tell
no,
us
it's-
that he doesn't watch wrestling, but he will tell us something absurd that he
That
saw
happened,
on
yeah.
Raw. Yeah.
Ravenshadow loves the Ryback.
I do enjoy the Ryback.
The Ryback.
Ryback. I don't know, because I miss Rhino.
Because you're a better worker than he was?
But that's true. Remember Rhino?
Yeah,
I like
of course.
him.
So those two things don't have anything to do with each other.
Oh, AR.
Ryback makes Rhino look like Danny Hodge.
The Entertainer.
So we got a few people hanging out in the chat room on trickortreatradio.com.
Nice.
And I'm surprised. I thought more people would be snowed in and hanging out with us. But I guess, I don't know, maybe they're down at Buffalo Wild Wings, Ravenshadow.
Ooh, we should go there.
No, nope.
Why
We
don't
can't go there.
We can Ravenshovel your car out if you dig it,
Oh.
and then we can move forward.
You should have seen T-Dog's car was like buried. Like you could not see her car. It was buried.
How'd you find it?
Well, we knew where we parked it.
Okay, that helps.
So, but yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, some housekeeping. So we're not going to do Wrestle Kingdom 9 until next week because we want to get everyone's opinion. We only review wrestling. We're going to do it just a few times a year. And I really want to get everyone's opinion on that. So we're gonna hold off. We'll do that next week. Also, we still have the contest that's ongoing, the two contests. Number one, with our friends over at XSplit.
XSplit.
They are offering up a 3-month subscription to use XSplit Gamecaster and XSplit Broadcaster. If you would like to win 3 free months, what you need to do is you need to make a video. Ravenshadow, what you're going to do is you're going to sit down in your bed. You're going to
Okay.
dim the lights.
Ooh,
You're going to set up your webcam
I'm with you.
or your smartphone
Nice.
or your 35 millimeter camera, your GoPro, whatever you want.
Whoa, slow it down, Johnny.
Set it up.
I got my phone.
You're going to lube yourself up. You're going
Okay.
to drink. You're going to get a couple drinks in you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And what you're going to do is you're going to hit record on that device, whichever one you're using.
Yeah.
And then you're going to tell us about your favorite horror movie and why.
Do I look into the camera when I say it?
You don't have to. I mean, it might be a little awkward.
What if I do like found footage? Can I record what I'm
Yeah,
doing
you get
as
both.
I'm like,
You get bonus points for that.
yeah. Oh, Snoop, you could really get fucking avant-garde.
Yeah, you can get creative for sure.
Yeah.
So you do that, and then you upload it. You can do a couple things. You can upload it to YouTube, to Vimeo, to any video site, and send us the link. Or if you want, you can just send us upload the video to Dropbox. Or if the video isn't too big, you can just email it to us at podcast@trickortreatradio.com. We need to see the video, and then we're going to judge the video. So all entries need to be in. It doesn't give you much time. All entries need to be in by Saturday, January 31st at 11:59 p.m.
Oh,
It's a minute before midnight. Right, Ravenshadow?
yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna make one. Are we eligible?
Sure. If we don't get enough entries, you might be. So there you go. So if you want to win three free months of XSplit Broadcaster and Gamecaster, send us a video with telling us about your favorite horror movie and why. And you can send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. You can tweet us at the Deadites, or you can post it on our Facebook group, Trick or Treat Radio. Whatever you want. And we look forward to seeing it. Also, Amazon. We're running a contest, and everyone that purchases an item with our Amazon link gets entered into this contest. So what you want to do is you want to go to trickortreatradio.com. You want to click on the Amazon logo, and it'll bring you to Amazon.com, and everything you buy in that session is attributed to our link, and we get a tiny little cut of it. So it costs you nothing extra.
Yeah.
And helps keep the lights on, as we say, or as other people say for us. So every little item you buy gives you one entry into the contest. We've already got a few people. And what you need to do is if you enter this contest and you buy stuff with our link, you need to send an email to podcast@trickortreatradio.com and just list the items you bought. That's it. Just so we know who we can attribute them to. And then we're going to put all the names into a random number generator and we're going to pick one.
Shake them up.
So next week we'll get a lot going on. We got the 2 contests and we're going to review Wrestle Kingdom 9 and also a movie, which we'll talk about later on. So we may even have a guest, right, Dynamo? Working on?
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll keep that under wraps for the time being, but looks like we may have a special guest with us next week.
Oh.
So I think we're going to go into this movie review. What do you think?
Let's do it.
You ready? Did you have some BK?
Oh, there's a BK.
What'd you
British
get?
Knights?
I got some British Knights I picked up over at the Chess King.
Yep.
No, I got 2 bacon dub cheeseburgers,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a special.
Mm-hmm.
They had either the $4 menu, like dollar and some coin,
Yep.
4-pack chicken nuggets, but for like an additional like 30 cents more, you got 10 chicken McNuggets.
Oh, shit.
All I can think about right now is the amount of time I've brought your destitute ass food. And you could have handed me nuggets under the table all day long.
I get in trouble. Tiny would find out.
He would.
I smuggled a whole fucking mythical beast into the city under his nose, and you're worried about some fucking nuggets?
Wait, how many diabetes cakes have I smuggled for you over
That's
the
true.
years?
What have you done for me lately? Ooh, ooh, ooh.
All right. So let's do that. Let's cut to a break. What the fuck?
Are we still on?
Yes.
I thought we were going to stop by now. Watch Battle Los Angeles.
You're going to go to Los Angeles?
No, let's watch Battle Los Angeles on one of these screens.
We could.
I'm not into Nathan, Cody, Duke, Luke, Luke.
Coy Vance.
I'm not into this tonight. I don't want to do. I shoveled a fucking lot. Wolfie was fucking mortified when he saw the amount I shoveled, and probably like wasn't. I'm gonna die. My spine is sticking out of my back of my pants, like with
True.
spine
It's not your
fluid
spine.
coming out.
That's not your spine.
You really need some anatomy lessons, and I'm just the man to give them to you.
Ooh.
Let's get out of here.
Let's go. All right. Remember, children.
You going to go smoke Ravenshadow?
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we'll do that. I guess we'll cut to a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about pieces of talent.
You won't find any here.
No, I'm not talking about us.
No.
There's no talent to be found, especially now that Tiny's not here this week. Although MonsterZero kind of cancels him out, doesn't he?
No.
No.
It's not
Sound
true.
Like, yeah,
It's impossible.
You sound like Bobby Brady. No.
It's time to
Is MZ talented? Is that what you're saying?
No.
All right, we'll cut to a break. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk about pieces of talent.
Do you love a scary story? Do you love to dance? The Big Scary Monster Haunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electroshock band, the Deadites. Available on iTunes, Google Music, Amazon, CD Baby, and all other digital distribution sites.
Hey there, this is R.A. Salvatore, call me Bob, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio. Hello, darlings. It's your favorite whiskey-drinking, litigious, singing, dancing fantasy girl. Want to reach out to me and the world's greatest monster-hunting multimedia organization, the Deadites? Log on to Facebook.com/The Deadites. It's got all the info you need to follow the world's greatest monster hunting band, like live appearances, info on your favorite Deadite, music, and all the links you need to our new weekly multimedia and all our side endeavors. Too many letters on Facebook? That's okay, sugar. Just follow us on Instagram and Twitter @The Deadites. Hope to see you soon, and we'll leave the lights off.
All right, Dynamo, we're back.
The Death Rider looks like a sexy Hawaiian superhero, doesn't he? With that fucking square jaw. It's jacked.
Why does he have to just be Hawaiian? Why can't he just be like,
Well, that's,
you know.
that's his hood. That's where he fights crime.
It's true.
He's taking down tiki gods.
Is that why Tiny went out there? Was he helping him out and team up?
No, he would much like Tiny White, Kent, Ohio. Doesn't go visit El Goro.
It's true.
Tiny White, one island over. He's like, do you know how far that is? It's closer than fucking Shrewsbury to the big island.
Considering Tiny,
And then he flew over in a helicopter, like more than once.
he should have dropped out. Considering Tiny is 1 mile away from Castle Wolfenstein and is the only one that broadcasts from, out of studio. I think that anything less than a mile is still too far.
I've grown to hate him. I'm going to start a new band with the Yeti.
The Yetites?
Yeah. I'm going to start my Hasidic Jew band, the Yetites.
All right. So why don't we talk about Pieces of Talent? What do you think?
Sure.
All right. So actually, do you want to tell folks about how we heard about this movie?
So on the same day that my good buddy Kevin Crook of the awesome podcast, The Dorkening, dropped off Dollboy, which is the film by Bloody Bill. We had Bloody Bill on a few episodes back to talk about his film Circus of the Damned.
It's true.
He also gave me this other movie that I don't think he had watched it at the time, but heard good things about. He dropped it on my desk called Pieces of Talent.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went out and got it and loved it. And then that was probably in May. And it took me until December 28th to mention it to you at all. And, I wanted to get it in because I'm still going to make a nice giant list for, at very least, my letterbox and maybe the fib, a top 50 or something like that. So I'm still cramming for my year end here. And, we're trying to get some stuff in. We watched Rec. Was that this year or last year?
Rec 4?
Yeah.
It was
it
this year.
fucking
This year.
sucks, though.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know we watched it this year, but was it a 2014 or 2015?
14.
Yeah, it sucked anyway. It's not on anybody's list. Worst of.
Except for Josh. Josh really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so I said, why don't we check out this Pieces of Talent movie? It comes highly regarded from a lot of people, and maybe we'll like it. And it's a pretty simple thing. It's pretty like there's a fail safe because when somebody tells me that somebody gives me a movie and if we don't like it, it's pretty good. We're making MonsterZero miserable, and if we like it, we get to watch a good movie. So.
Mm-hmm. True.
It's win-win. So we sat down and spun Pieces of Talent, and I'm very interested to see what everybody else thinks of it.
What's that?
I'm dying. Like, everybody forgets, like, I'm dying. And what happens when, like, I'm dying, so, like, the woman who's supposed to love me probably the most in the world is like, let's have a fucking diet.
Who's dying more, Ravenshadow or you?
For somehow I surpassed him.
Yeah. It's kind of the eventually.
Yeah.
It's the slow death.
In the Indianapolis Necro 500, I've somehow, like, surpassed him.
What's funny is you ever go to like the doctors and you're filling out. You know,
I have gone to a doctor's.
Plural.
Never gone to a doctor's.
But they have those things where you have like they list all the problems and you got to check if you have them or not. You know, and I do a lot of no's, and it's
I was gonna say, do you look at that list and say yes?
well, I don't. You don't say exactly how much you drink.
I do.
You can't. No, don't do that. If it's you know if it's like 12 a night, you got to say 2
Here's the problem.
or
okay?
socially.
I don't think I can die, but I'm painfully aware that I can suffer. So if there's something that is going to make a part of me, like, it'll be gone forever.
Yeah.
My kidneys they're gone forever. And that just means that I'm on dialysis forever. So if I lie, they can't keep me going.
Okay, gotcha.
You, when you die, you're out of your misery. You've done a lot of good. You've freed up a chair. You've made your wife happy. The studio will smell better. Like, it's a victory for you to finally go. But for me, who wants it more than anything in the world, I can't die. Huh?
Why don't we review this movie on that note?
Yeah.
All right, so Pieces of Talent. This film is, as Dynamo pointed out, 2014, 95 minutes. This horror thriller is directed by Joe Stouffer, or Stauffer, Stouffer? I'm going to say Stouffer, like the...
Pizza guy.
Stouffer's, I thought they made stuffing.
Oh, maybe. No, they do the
Pizza too?
pizza breads. What?
Yeah, you're right.
French bread pizza.
Yeah,
There you go.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
This
Okay.
sucks. Can we go?
This is a bad.
And it was written by David Long and Joe Stouffer. And it stars David Long, Christy Ray, Taylor Kowalski, Barbara Wheatman, and John Stafford. And the synopsis we have here, it's kind of a long one, so I'm going to truncate it here. This story centers around Charlotte, a struggling young actress who can't catch a break. In an effort to support herself and her hopeless mother, Charlotte holds a job as a cocktail waitress at a seedy local strip club and hates every minute of it. During a cigarette break late one evening, she witnesses an altercation between an overzealous bouncer and an unfortunate passerby, David. David makes movies, and given Charlotte's career interests, a friendship quickly develops. I'm going to stop right there. It's too long. Too meandering. All right. So, Pieces of Talent, we are going to review this right now.
Let's do it.
Anyone want to lead this review, or do you want to just... I guess let me say this. This film doesn't have a very strong narrative. I mean, there's maybe that's not quite right. It does have a there's definitely a story going on here.
I think one of the genres that this film fits in is mumblecore. Because it definitely seemed like there wasn't necessarily dialogue-wise. There might not have necessarily been a script. That they're kind of just these Halloween. Like, it wasn't a mental dissection of him. It was just a matter-of-fact look at the day of somebody who matter-of-factly happened to do this in his free time.
Okay, so basically the beginning of the film starts off, we have the opening. We don't know who the killer is. And then it cuts to Charlotte and shows sort of her mundane life. Her mom recently moved in with her is what we're led to believe. And her mom is like borrowing her car. She's like the mother of the family.
Yep.
And the mom is like the kid, And she has to ask to use the car, and Charlotte works at a strip club as a waitress, right?
Yeah.
Shot girl or something, whatever they call them. And apparently she hates it. I didn't actually get that until later on in the film. I don't remember. Did she talk about how much she hated it?
No, most girls love working at strip clubs when guys, assume their property and shoves dollar bills down their shirt.
She got in trouble
that.
the same night she met David for getting groped.
Yeah. So one thing maybe this is a bit too serious for the show, but when, like, that dude, he said to her, he's like, why don't you smile some more, you know? And that's one thing.
That's the implication that
Okay, yep.
he hangs out there.
Okay.
I like I can I jump in, Johnny?
Please.
When we first see that the kill that Johnny was talking about, it's from a first-person perspective. So someone is recording their kills.
Right.
Yep.
Cut to the bar. We introduce Charlotte, who I thought was super hot, ripping down butts. I like that, and my girls. But I like that this strip club was kind of a nexus for what was going on. And
I like that too.
as it progresses, I think we've talked about before about decisions. If you make a decision, you can go one way or you can go another way.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I mean? There's certain joints we talked about it. And Charlotte made a decision when she engaged David outside. Like, had she not done that, had she not been outside smoking, or had she just not give a fuck and walked away, it would have been different for her. And for David as well.
Sure.
You know, who I thought David had kind of like a Donna Logue type vibe.
Yeah.
I
Like
can see
Donna
that.
Logue meets fucking Ain't It Cool News, motherfucker.
Harry Knowles.
Yeah, you know, like,
Funny.
but like it could have been different for her.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, I guess we'll get to the different part as we move on, and maybe even into spoiler territory. So Charlotte, you know, she gets groped by this guy, the producer. I actually didn't put two and two together. Gets groped by him. He tries to put some money in her chest, and she slaps him and then gets in trouble for it. Right. So
My favorite scene in the movie.
that was the worst. Because I know what you're talking about. The one thing before we move too far, I want to say that it's such a like a little thing, but I really love the opening credits. I love how they were integrated with the images on the screen. Like when the car was like bouncing and moving, like the graphics were going with it, and then they showed something that was like a pendulum going back and forth, and the graphic was going along with that.
And the
I
door?
love and the door, and I love how they were integrated into the images, and that's not something I've seen a ton of.
Yeah, it's an old movie thing. Like there used to be kind of two types of credits that you would do.
Yeah.
Something more like that, where the credits were kind of integrated into the scene.
Yeah.
And then there was like the Pink Panther, James Bond, like super stylized, like opening credit sequences.
Yep.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even a statement of something that they don't really do anymore, and certainly not in any of this sort of the multiple subgenres where I think that this film kind of walks around in.
So Charlotte has this fight with the producer guy. She walks out and goes out and has a smoke, and so there's a fight where there's a bouncer is beating up a guy just a guy that was in the strip club, like a paying customer. And that was one of my first things right there. Like, the fight was horrible. It looked like he wasn't even like it just, to me, it seemed like there wasn't even any effort to make it look like a real fight. I don't know if you guys got that, but it looked like he was missing him. And I don't know, if you're doing a film, like, don't you want to, like, I mean, especially with the way they filmed it, I thought they could have made the bouncer beating up David look a little bit better. I don't know if you guys even noticed it or not, but
Maybe it was less of a fight and more of a mugging.
yeah, it wasn't a fight. It was just David was on the ground and the bouncer was punching him. It just, I don't know. To me, it just like, so far to that point, I liked everything, and then
I didn't notice
bugged
because
me a
I
little
felt
bit.
like the scene wasn't about them. The scene was kind of about the
It wasn't.
decision going on in her head of what to do.
Yep.
So I didn't notice. Maybe
Okay.
on another watch I would, but
yeah.
And was he filming the girl? Is that what? It's what prompted it? Was he trying to film
Well,
inside the club?
I mean, they took his camera away. So
I think he was filming outside. He said he was filming outside.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was doing exterior shots, I think.
So yeah, he took the camera. Okay, yeah. So we just put it on here. The bouncer takes the camera away. Oh yeah, it's the Michael Ravenshadow drinking technique, whatever you can find.
But that's really interesting. Now imagine if somebody watched that camera.
I was surprised that somebody didn't actually. See,
You know?
that's what I was talking about. Just
I
like,
didn't think that looked that bad.
all right, I don't know.
I think it wasn't lit very well.
As someone who likes wrestling quite a bit, I guess
Well, as someone who's been in the back alleys of strip clubs,
that looked pretty good.
that's fair. That's fair.
All right, that's fine. So
She's so cute.
One thing I thought was, I just thought this relationship was kind of forced. Like these two characters, like I understand what happens here. Like, you know, David's getting beat up in the alley, and like I don't know, Charlotte just I don't know, like it just seemed weird, like a weird
She's using him.
relationship. Well, I get that, but
I mean, she's nice and she was helping him, but the relationship comes from, you know, she's using him and he, like that just made he's crazy. He
Sure,
would have liked the bouncer if the bouncer loaded him into the back of a car and drove him around.
Couple things.
Mhm.
Now, and you're kind of right, Johnny. She sees this all the time. This is a strip club Tuesday.
okay.
You know, someone getting jacked up for running amok for some reason.
Yep.
Do you think the reason why she felt empowered to take care of him was to be anti her establishment? Like, obviously, she's sick of the patrons trying to get all
Yeah.
ropey with her.
Well, she was just victimized too.
She's sick of her boss, you know, yelling at her, doing disciplinary techniques, and then getting some helm, you know, as she's talking to him, like some way to.
I mean, she's treated
against-
poorly everywhere else that you see that she goes.
Right.
So I think that she's trying to
Make amends.
like pay it
or-
forward, like to trying to treat someone else the way that she wishes she was treated in the world.
That's what I said.
I agree. I just translated for you.
Thank you too.
But no, I mean, I guess I agree with that. I didn't really think of it at the time, but you know, she did just get annoyed with someone. So, you know, make the connection that this guy, the bar hates this guy. She hates the bar. You know, they have something
Sure.
in common. So,
Because the only thing that would make sense, because you're right. I mean, there's just no reason they would get to know each other. And I'm sorry, total fucking Texas Chainsaw fucking bus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
get-go.
Yeah. This doesn't. I mean, this would end. I think. This relationship would have ended here unless he said he made movies.
yeah, you're probably right. I think So she, you know, she brings him out. What are they on the beach here or whatever? And
Yeah.
so and he finally wakes up after, I assume, being, you know, passed out or whatever. And so they start having a conversation, and it turns out that David makes films. And as we saw earlier, Charlotte is, you know, wants to be an actress. She went out for an audition earlier, and you know, it's funny because didn't they say they really liked the eye contact? They liked liked everything about her, but it wasn't what they were looking for, right?
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you read really well. You had great eye contact, but just not what we're looking for. So the funny thing is, I think I might think about this movie a little differently watching it again now that I know what happens at the end, because for a while you just don't know where this movie's going to go, right?
Right.
And I think that uneasiness sort of, I didn't know where it was going to go, and I just felt like it was going in this one direction, and it didn't necessarily go there, you know?
No.
Yeah.
But one thing that did bug me a little bit, though, was when they left Charlotte's story for a while, and it felt like David was on screen for a good 20, 25 minutes or so. And then they just sort of forgot about Charlotte, it seemed. I know they didn't forget about her, but I was just like, okay, we've already established Charlotte. She's the main, you know, she's the protagonist here. And then all of a sudden we go off and we don't hear about her for like 20 minutes. And I know it's something we've discussed with films that have, long flashback sequences or, you know, these tangents and stuff. We, you know, certainly not new for the films that we watched, but for me, it's just, I wanted more about Charlotte, I guess, you know. Did that bother you guys at all?
I think they did dip back in her once very briefly in between when he when David met up with the young filmmaker,
Mm-hmm.
the grip type guy, and when he artwork, but can't afford frames, so I just blocked out where it goes on my wall. Maybe that's why, because I keep dropping them. Maybe
Yeah, it
because
could
we're
be.
watching a movie at the same time.
No, it has nothing to do with the bandwidth. We watch movies like every week.
Nice.
So we'll see if that improves. I just dropped Twitch, so sorry for the one person. Hey, I was watching that.
She's so cute.
Christy Ray,
Yeah.
Charlotte.
She's a little cleft thing going on, like Luke Skywalker.
Oh my God, you fantasize about Luke Skywalker?
I don't want to talk about it.
Use the force.
No. Oh, the force rises, I'll tell you that much.
He could hit Ravenshadow's face at 20 parsecs.
I also thought, aside from Charlotte and David, the acting in this movie was pretty fucking poor.
I agree. I thought the mother was okay.
Yeah,
But
she was okay. She was passable.
I think I'm torn on it, though, and I'll tell you why, okay? See if you're with me here.
Okay.
With the exception of the mother.
Is this a Tiny or a Myra?
It kind of could be.
Okay.
I feel like because this film, in some ways, was kind of an indictment in the
Hold
film.
on. I don't know why, but I missed that the first time.
No, I saw it.
Yeah.
He was pretty creepy to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
In case, whenever you smell a woman's, whatever she left behind, you're probably creepy.
Yeah.
And to be fair, for a minute, I was like, that makes perfect sense. I would do that. But no, that's weird. And
Yeah.
then to be back to reality. But yeah, that's not good.
All right. Sorry, Dynamo. Go.
Because so the film producer,
Yep.
the actor, and to a lesser degree the strip club owner, were all almost like parodic. They were all almost like so over the top that they were parodies of those type of performances.
Definitely the actor for sure.
Yeah. I wonder if it was just a create. Now, I felt like, and I found out through talking to our good buddy Kevin Crook from the Dorkening that this guy isn't actually an actor at all. He's just a writer. This was like the only thing that he's done, and which makes it all that much more creepy. But there are a lot of nuances to this performance that you wouldn't generally get out of this level of. I'd say the Battery is maybe the only thing that I've seen in a long time that had this level of budget and with these kind of nuanced performances.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that too.
But I
Exact thing.
Well, I thought about the Battery.
Okay.
I think that so. I want to go back to talk about how well shot some of this is because I think it really is.
I agree.
And very well lit. I think that they might be creative choices in the way they acted that just didn't work. It's possible that those two were just the worst actors of all time. But when you team that with a movie that I feel like is pretty smartly written, say what else you want about it. Like, oh, no, let me rephrase that. And not give you the option to say whatever you want about it. It is pretty confidently written. To have two performances that are that bad mixed with writing that's kind of that bad, I almost lean towards thinking that it was a creative choice. I could be wrong, but being that this film is not only an indictment on the entertainment industry, it's also an indictment on like creativity in general, because the same amount of pot shots in a different way are taken at David's artsy fartsiness. His little art house films that he makes are almost like Saturday Night Live art house segments. They just happen to be on the nose because of what happens afterwards. But like, I wonder. I could be wrong. They could be just bad performances and like really paint by number spots in the filming. But I feel like this kid isn't that bad.
No.
No, he was all right. Yeah.
Yeah, and the mother, I think, is just like that's just a hard thing to play. Just that drunk. It's hard not to turn it into like a Mary Tyler Moore character, like completely over the top character sketch.
I was kind of thinking the sister in Roseanne.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it just doesn't necessarily. There's only so much you can do with limited screen time, and be like the drunk and irresponsible. You know what I mean? And I think that so that's my take on it. I don't know if I'm right. I don't know what everybody else thinks. But I found it interesting when I was thinking about it that the two only people that I thought were like too over the top in the movie were the two people who I also felt like the writing wasn't very strong in their characters. And I feel like that almost can't be a coincidence, or maybe it can. But for a movie that otherwise is so on the nose, like I feel like that's a big guffaw
of new digital technology with the cameras. Like you see him holding a camera.
He's got a GoPro at one point.
Yeah. So, but the thing I thought was interesting, and maybe this speaks to their relationship and why they got along so well, was they both use like rotary phones, Charlotte and David. Whenever she calls him, she's either from a pay phone or like an old phone in her house, and he picks up on like an old rotary phone, that's plugged into the wall. Like
she's on an old phone too.
Yeah,
the mom is on an old phone too at one point. Like
I think Charlotte used that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I thought that same thing. Also, Charlotte's car is like an '87 Delta '88, I think.
Yeah,
So,
she
like,
definitely has an older car.
Yeah, like I wonder if the two cars in this were like direct references to two other horror films, because I'm pretty sure that was a Delta '88, which is the classic in the Raimi cars. And Ravenshadow is right. That is, essentially the Texas Chainsaw Massacre van. So I wonder if that was intentional, but it definitely threw me off of when this was supposed to be, because the cars were very old looking. And even the other car that was in the parking lot when David met her mother was an old car too. It was an old station wagon. So I'm not sure if that was...
They go to like an old diner.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot about this film that just almost said like 80s, early 90s to me. But very clearly they have new technology. I saw I think the actor has a cell phone. Granted, it's a flip phone, but still, like he had a cell phone. So it's definitely more present day. But I just thought that was interesting. I didn't know.
Interesting.
I don't know what you guys thought about that. If there was a reason.
I wasn't sure. My only what comparable technology to what we're seeing, because he had somewhere in between. For even right now, like consumer grade and like filmmaker grade, with the exception of like the GoPro and stuff like that. So I don't know if maybe he had like... I was surprised when we made a failed attempt at making a live concert film in the mid-2000s, how the cameras that they had filmed a film that I had seen in the theaters with didn't look that different from a camera that we were already using for something else. So I'm curious if they were just trying to use new consumer grade cameras and try to pass them off like they were those what the hell were they, those Canon?
I don't think so, because I mean it's very clearly newer technology. So
yeah, I mean it does. His camera that he uses a lot, and the one that she had, looks like those. I can't remember the number for them, but they filmed 28 Days Later with it. I
love this scene.
Yeah, I thought that this was great, and something that I wish that you saw a little bit more in slasher films, because it's really a hopeless situation to be so close to your salvation, but so this type of scene usually happens at night. You see the headlights blaring down the road, and just as the girl gets her arms up, she gets snatched back into the woods. So yeah, I don't know. It might have just been what they had.
I had a thought too, though. I mean, you guys are making good points, and the vehicles are definitely a throwback. But maybe the fact that Charlotte keeps it real, and if she doesn't have any money, maybe you shouldn't get a smartphone because you can't afford it. You know what I mean? If she's trying to make her pay her bills, and David, I'm pretty sure, isn't on the Trick or Treat Radio fan interaction board.
I don't know about that. There's some lurkers.
Yeah, he might be.
But
he's more into his own technology and movies. He doesn't give a fuck about.
This is interesting, though. Did anybody see a computer?
I don't recall, but like we're watching right here. Like, look at the TV.
The TV I noticed.
Yeah,
it's got a VCR.
The old VCR. So
I guess it's supposed to have been some time ago.
But it can't. Not with what they were using.
But all these things still exist, though.
Yeah. Well, you're right, and it might be just old. I just don't know. I mean, she had big head,
Recorder, yeah.
but I don't think that. I mean, there is at one point that definitely is a digital recorder that he's.
Oh yeah,
that
for
he gets
sure,
from
for
her.
sure. But it's
A high-end one too.
he had one right there actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. Like I wonder.
I mean, that might be this guy's fetish too, that he's into old stuff, but
It's going to turn out this is going to be super meta. He's the guy behind the VHS series.
could be.
That's a fucking movie right there.
It's David. He's behind it all.
Now, I have a question for you. Do you think that he fucks him here?
Well, we're watching a scene here where
So David. Should we play the spoiler music?
not yet.
Okay.
I don't think this is fair. This isn't that far in.
So David lures somebody into his grasp and kills him right at the edge of a highway. Like just like in the sparse trees. Like if you were driving up 190, like the part that isn't like doesn't have Jersey barriers on the side. 2 more steps, this guy would have been in the highway on the breakdown lane waving for help, but he didn't make it. And David is filming this.
Yeah.
While David is watching it later, there seems to be some strange noises. And I don't know if the implication was that David was raping his mostly dead body. I don't think him just hanging out with him and making noises at it is probably equally creepy, but I'm just not sure what they were getting at there.
Oh.
Yeah. It was interesting, the scene we just watched. So he one of his kills, I guess, he films and then is watching it, and the way like the reverence in which like is on his face when he's watching it is like he's so happy, like it's very creepy.
Yeah.
Just watching that back. This is one thing I didn't understand. So they have these interludes, I guess, or unless they were to signify different chapters in a sense, or different acts.
At first, I thought he dreamt in film. Like, at first, I thought that was what was going on. But I think that this is the beginning of the film that he's filming when he takes his next prey, who is the
producer. Actor, or the producer. That's right. Yeah.
So I think that's what that is. Like, if you went back and watched the complete film that he made after he got him, that would be this would be the intro. Okay. Like, is that same sort of overdub, not in first person, in like, fuck, I lost my my vocabulary. You're seeing it like, in the audience.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's what I'm pretty sure was going on there, which I thought was great. I do kind of think I did like it better when I thought he dreamt in film. But I think he still might actually.
Yeah, because he does have that dream when he's in the tub.
Yeah, and with the yeah. So yeah, I'm getting my notes crossed here. Actually, I apologize, but yeah, that's what I think this is here. I think that this is the opening of the film that he's filming the climax to with this character.
Okay, and that makes sense. I didn't put, once again when I was watching, I didn't put 2 and 2 together about the sort of the title card in a way with who is next. So. Just to cut to the chat room real quick, we got GSB, Gene Siskel's balding head, says, "Where is everyone? Damn it!" Well, I think everyone is dealing with Snowpocalypse, GBS. By the way, I wonder if GSB. I wonder if GSB is in Lowell still.
My gang probably came and dug him out.
Nice guys.
Yeah. Although I guess it depends on the outcome of the Super Bowl this weekend, if GSB will be in Lowell or not.
Ooh.
Tell him if he's there for the next Stone to buy a Michael RavenShovel.
Can you dig it?
You should trademark that.
I'm trying to. Where's Tiny?
This is why we got to bring back the CryptoCast. For Michael RavenShovel commercials.
Can we just bury him in the snow and see if he can dig himself out?
In the suit.
It would look like somebody cleaned out their chimney.
Look like Randy from Christmas Story.
And these fucking guys.
Yeah, so these producer type dudes. So we're watching the film here in studio as we're talking. So
which is always a good review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Snoop boobs.
You can play along at home. Let's cut back to my notes here. We went off on a little bit of a tangent, which is fine. Because we were talking about the technology. So I think for me, I just thought that Charlotte and David were sort of in a way kindred spirits.
They were Michael Ravenshadows.
Because of that, like they had the same outlook and view on certain things, and neither of them really had friends, right? Like they talked about like, oh, I don't really know anyone, blah blah blah. Like, so, and then they shared a love of film. The one thing, and this could be, once again, there's a lot that's open for interpretation in this, but when Charlotte was like, oh, I'd love to work with you or something, like if you're going to work with someone, don't you want to see some of their work?
Well, I mean, they're just excited.
Is she like serious about this? Does she think that she actually has a career?
I think it's the same as people we run into all the time, right? And
like in music or
and
whatever.
You've heard me
yeah.
fucking complain about this a lot. I think that there is almost like punk rock misconception in music that it's so easy that there's not anything to it. In film, that it's so easy that there's not anything to it. She didn't go to any sort of acting school or take acting lessons.
As far as we know.
Right.
Yeah.
She just wants to do it. And she's kind of just waiting around. You know, she's going on auditions, but like, you know, very similar. And I think this is a much better indictment on the film industry at that level than fucking shitty Starry Eyes was a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
She's just kind of waiting for somebody to put her in a movie. She thinks that's what it takes, and then she's going to be a star. And then this dude comes along who says he's going to put her in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And a credit is a credit. It's almost like when I first, we were always really picky about playing back in the day because we started off, and thanks to dudes like Paul Dagnolo, we always had a pretty good crowd. We never had that empty room. That's something we're experiencing in our older age, which most people experience early on in their career. But when I started wrestling after NCW, I'd work anyway because I felt like the more I worked, it would make me a worker. I didn't know how to wrestle any better because I was wrestling people who some of them weren't as good as NCW workers. But I think that's a lot of people's like mindset, and for some people it works. You know, for every I can't think of an actor, but for every Mick Foley, I guess, you know, there's a
He's one of our favorite Foleys, by the way.
yeah, he is.
Top 13.
Yep. You know, I can't think of an actor who kind of got in this way. You know, but for everybody who was a fucking pool boy and was in the right place at the right time.
Eddie Furlong.
Yeah. You know, like, you know, there are people who like studied their whole life to be, you know, an actor. I just watched a whole thing of Julianne Moore breaking down Lauren Bacall's, some of her acting chops and shit that I never would have even noticed in 100 years because Julianne Moore is the real deal. You know what I mean? But like some people think like if I can just get in a few movies, whether they're fucking, you know, Unmen, The Secret of the Goop, or, you know, a trauma film. You know, think of how many people walk off one of those trauma sets thinking that they're actually in the fucking movies. You know, that the next step Disney. Because that's just kind of the mindset of it. And I think that that's where our protagonist is here. Like, I don't think she really knows the steps that it takes to get into Hollywood. And I think she's probably not much of an actress either, judging by like kind of what her I don't want to say dismissive, but how like how almost like the people who were telling her no were kind of searching for compliments almost. You know what I mean? Like basically
Yeah.
almost saying she had nice hair. Yeah. You know?
Got really nice hair.
You just
Is this the scene you're talking about, Ravenshadow?
that's coming up.
So we have the strip club owner is sort of giving her the heat for getting in an argument with the producer guy earlier because she comes to get David's camera back and she ends up quitting, right? Like he says, I want you here by 6 next day or whatever, and she just leaves. But this guy was terrible. This is when I was like, okay, the acting in this movie is not very good.
Yeah.
Because this guy is just terrible. Is that you, Ravenshadow?
Which one? That's just mean, man. Put the dollar bill on her head. Just having lunch. balling.
It's funny. The more that we talk about this, the more some of my questions aren't as valid. Like when I was writing down notes, because I didn't really get a ton of motivation for David. Like why is he the way he is? Why is he such a psychopath?
That's fair.
Well, he had worked with these guys before.
Oh yeah.
And
Yes.
They took all his money and wasted all his time and never did anything.
That's right.
These are the guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, I feel like an idiot.
And
Because
the reason I put two and two together is when he brought that up, he had that delusion of knocking their heads down in the bowling alley.
Okay. Yeah. I do recall that. Yep. Okay. So that's once again, I guess I feel like an idiot in this review because I missed some stuff, but
Dummy.
Wow,
you don't get to call me that.
I was holding in pee, and now I have to go do it because that was too much.
Did you know?
I did. But I watched this before I shoveled.
Okay, maybe that's it.
That was the thing. I watched it beforehand. No, for realsies, I did catch that. It's revealed this in dialogue. You're right, because he doesn't really. What's the real motivation for stuff?
Yeah.
But it kind of the club is that center, is that nexus where everyone gathers. I thought the outcome with Charlotte would have been different. I thought it was going a different place.
You're talking about the resolution at the end?
Correct.
I agree. So that's why this movie threw me off. We'll get to that in the spoiler section. Also, I didn't think that Charlotte's motivations were that strong either. Like I think she's just she doesn't know what she wants. She wants to be an actress and doesn't want to work for it. So she sort of gets taken on this path because because David's like, "Oh, I can put you in a movie." She's like, "Oh, that'd be awesome." I don't know. I just she's sort of down on her luck, working a shit job, trying to pay the bills. That's sort of like where she's at,
Do you think that? I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying, and it kind of makes no sense for a girl, once again, that hot, to be under this guy's wing. But maybe because she's such the grown up with her mom, that she's looking to be for something to either justify what she wants to do for what she perceives as her dream.
Well, she also has just she's only a grown up comparatively speaking. She's not very emotionally complete yet.
Right, she's over 21.
Hence, I mean, age-wise, I'm not talking, but you know what I mean? Like,
mentally.
She's never had a mentor, seemingly, so she's still pretty immature in a lot of ways.
Yep.
Both in her pursuit of her career and, like, even this relationship with David, her vocational choices. A friend of mine, who I don't know if they want to be named or not. I'll find out when they catch out in the chat. Worded it kind of more eloquently than I tried to, but they have a lot of friends like that, and so many of them are actors or actresses, and they have a ton of IMDb credits, but nobody knows who they are. Like it's a matter of like, it's almost like a quality over quantity thing. Like the amount you work is your vindication of working.
Yeah.
And I feel like at that level, not all the time, maybe to a certain degree, it's not like sports or even wrestling or something like, it's like staying in dinner theater forever. Like you're not ever going to be working with people who are better than you, so you're maybe not ever going to get better. But the perception is that you're in the pictures.
Right.
And if anybody says you're not, you can say I have 80 credits. You know what I mean?
I wrote for Horror Hound magazine.
Once.
I think it's funny. I was just going to say something about that. I think he's terrific, but I mean, MZ has been in 3 or 4 films now.
Yep.
So none of them were any of my directed opuses, mind you. So
for me, what I really wanted, and maybe this film is a snapshot. Maybe it's not supposed to be, that we get this motivation and then we get character development, because really there's not much to speak of. I mean, once again, if you guys saw something I didn't, let me know. But I just feel there wasn't much character development. Charlotte was here and she ended, like, I guess at the end it could take you somewhere else. But before the last 5 minutes, she didn't really change at all. Like, there was no, like...
Yeah.
Well, one of I think the points of the movie that is brought across in the end scene when you finally see his film is that the movie was happening. Charlotte really thought that she was taking control of her destiny by quitting her job, and she was going to be in this movie, and it was the first of many. But the world in the movie was actually happening around Charlotte. Like, she didn't do anything to change her circumstance or anybody else's circumstance. She quit her job and then went and sat by the ocean.
Yep.
So I think that's kind of, she didn't. This wasn't about her arc because she didn't have an arc. She wasn't a bad person. She wasn't a jerk. She wasn't a monster. She wasn't a fucking cunt like that thing in Starry Eyes. But, like, she just also wasn't very motivated, which I think is
part of it.
90% of the people whom claim to be creative people.
Yeah, I
because I think he had an arc. I think he was done. Like, he didn't kill people because of this, but his magnum opus was those two people that he got his revenge on.
Sure.
Right? And he was killing almost, I think, as practice, because the killings were looked at in the same way as his, like, kind of practice and building montages were, other than those two people, the producer and the actor. And I think it was about his arc. I think he changed a little bit at the end because he fell in love with her.
Right.
So her film ended differently. And that was his message to her, delivered in a twisted way. All the things that you were saying were holding you back are gone now. Go make movies.
Okay,
Go do what you want to do.
Hold on, you kind of get
All right.
Get a little spoilery. As I was watching this, it made me think a tiny bit of Killers.
Yeah.
Because he was torturing, and killing people on camera. And the one thing that kept, once again, at the end of this film, we'll get into this in just a few minutes in spoilers, but at the end of the film, I had to go back and re-examine everything that happened, because there's like this one piece of information that's missing from everything until the end. And then at the end, it makes it like some stuff made a little bit more sense, but some stuff I didn't realize how much it mattered.
Right.
Now that we're rewatching it here in the studio, because I was like, well, what does David do with his films? He makes these films. What does he do with them?
Yeah.
But then obviously, as we move along, we find out but that was one thing as I'm watching this, I was like, well, what's he, that's the thing that was missing for me. What's he doing with these? What's going on here? And then, we get a reveal at the end of something that happens that sort of ties in and makes me understand a little bit better. But
which psychopaths and sociopaths, when mixed with artistic flair, doesn't have to be like that.
Right.
Like, their killing is their art that they're, like, kind of putting on display. But Ed Gein didn't, like, go down to the craft fair and show off his wares.
True.
So, I mean, that end of it, the more personal art was, like, he wasn't like a traditional serial killer in the sense where he was like, here are my killings.
Mm-hmm.
His killings were just like film stock, were like part of his art, like, almost like casting actors for real.
Mm-hmm.
And when you deal with somebody who's mentally disturbed of that, he just has to get the art out. Not to put the comparison to one of the most famous cinematic serial killers, I guess, ever. Like, you didn't see anything that Leatherface made, unless you went into the house.
Yep.
It wasn't like he was going down by the road and being like,
If you gave
blonde girl lampshade, blonde girl lampshade, everybody $5.
start on the street, Texas style.
Yeah, nipple
Nickelodeon.
nipple belt, hold your pants up, tweak them out. Like, he's just, just making it because he was an artist and he was driven to make it. And he certainly, more so than, some of that, more real stuff, the kind of art house pretension put over that he was that sort of character too.
Mm-hmm. Ravenshadow, you like this scene?
I do.
This guy,
He's a dick.
when we saw the actor, that's when I knew that they were purposely trying to have people be over the top, because this guy was like, when you think of Hollywood actor, of like pompous Hollywood actor, this guy was the embodiment of that, right?
Yeah.
So that's when I thought it was like, okay. So and maybe I'm sure this has nothing to do with why they called it Pieces of Talent, but it's almost like you have to piece together once you see the finale of the film, you sort of have to piece together some stuff as to, oh, okay, this makes more sense.
Yeah.
This makes more sense. And obviously I wasn't in a great mindset while watching it because, after just digging 2 cars out, it wasn't exactly in the mood to think too much. So, but let's see. I thought the gore was pretty good though. There wasn't a ton of it, but I thought it was done really well.
That was one of the best head blown off scenes that I've seen in a long ass time. No, in the scene coming up.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yep. Yeah, that was really good. There's definitely some good gore in this, and it wasn't used. It wasn't used overboard. It wasn't overkill either. I think that was a nice thing, is that a film like this, it's easy to go overboard with it, and it's also easy to not give enough. But I think this had like a good mix of gore.
Yep, I agree 100%.
Ravenshaw, you'll probably appreciate this, but there was a ton of smoking in this film.
Yeah.
I actually thought this
Which
film,
again makes the time weird.
Yeah.
Because there aren't really as many smokers as there used to be at all. But in this,
Well,
everyone...
we're a dying breed.
in this, everyone smoked.
Yeah, I actually, my thought was like, did they get funding from like fucking Marlboro or something? Like seriously, like it's almost like an advertisement for smoking,
The good old days.
The good old days, yeah. This scene was
This is
pretty
fucking
awesome,
really
though,
bugging me out a little bit, yeah.
I love it. Yeah, can I jump in here for a second, JW?
Yeah. I'm almost ready to finish up.
I feel like the most impressive feat of this film is how many subgenres it manages to fuse together. Probably the over-the-top acting is the only thing that is super clashing with some of the other more subtleties of this film. But I feel like this is probably a mumblecore film, right? I just dropped my notes, so I'm going to pretend that I remember what I said.
Mumblecore, that's what you said. If you can't bend down, come on.
Dude, I have a hole in the middle of me, right
All
where
right.
my bend down parts.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
Ugh, for fuck's sake.
Look at so we'll bring this up in spoilers, but notice how it's all like the color now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're showing like it's part of his film, and then the color fades out.
Right.
So that was
Which
something.
I thought was awesome.
Yep, I thought that was pretty cool.
So-
Look at that Hummer though. That's a 2000.
Yeah.
It's newer.
Yeah, I think so.
But that could be, maybe that's speaking to David's interests and his interest in film. Maybe he's like the old school film.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's a message here about filmmaking. I don't know.
So this is maybe a mumblecore movie, right? Like I haven't really seen enough to really assess, but I feel like this is definitely like this film reminded me of a Swanberg movie. This is a torture porn, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Slasher.
The first person perspective, gives elements of like found footage.
Okay.
Like you almost imagine that somebody at some point is going to find all these movies complete. slasher, like you said, serial killer though, more like the serial killer than like the typical. I think the difference of those things, I feel like serial killers hunt slashers. You usually go to them. I would say, with the exception of Michael Myers, who I feel like was really more of a serial killer film than at least the first Halloween. It's a revenge flick, right? Because you find out that he feels like he's almost like a social vigilante, right? In a way, the way he handles. Like, this had elements of things like Dexter and the Death Wish films, so the way he's handling the people who are did him in the world wrong. And it's also a very much satire. Like, this is a very meta film that's a film about films. And I think that, like, think about that for a second. Just say this movie was the shits, right? Like, to just be able to put all those things together to the point where you don't think of it like, oh, well, they're doing mumblecore Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or they're doing a meta Hostel. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't sit, like, I didn't sit and say that's where these are. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that I found the character of David really engaging. Not this wasn't De Niro or anything, but I thought he was great.
You fucked my wife? Sorry, that was my De Niro.
That's pretty good.
But I mean, his intensity at times kind of reminds me of Raging Bull. Taxi Driver, because he is 100% sure that this is the right thing to do. And he is 100% able to look at himself in the mirror every day. There's not remorse. And when you see, like, a lot of serial killers in slashers, like, they are maybe not aware from a sociopathic point of view that what they're doing is wrong, but they realize if they didn't, they wouldn't be able to survive for long. They realize that it is against the law. It is against the world's laws, where he kind of is just about in plain sight and pretty fucking loud and shooting guns by the highway and having, you know what I mean? And having, like, he is righteous in the fact that he feels like he is doing something better for the world. Like, so it's almost got an air of vigilantism to it. I don't know. I'm almost hard to review this film because I am totally put off guard by how flawlessly a lot of these different elements were weaving into this one little weird movie, that it would be a hard thing to do from a director. If I found out that Wingard and Barrett were going to tackle this same type of movie, and I read a lot about it, I'd be like, I don't know how that's going to be, because that's a lot of great tastes that don't taste good together. Forget about the fact that this is a film by a young filmmaker, or at least a novice filmmaker, we'll say. I don't know how old anybody actually is. In novice actors, and a lot of fucking shit is real. A lot of balls are in the air, I guess would be the best metaphor I could use. that don't work together. You know what I mean?
Do you like Rufus and Ronaldo?
Yeah,
they work against each other. They argue.
So, it's funny. We'll go to the spoiler in just a second. But what's really funny is after talking about this film with you guys, like, this is one of the first films where I've actually, my opinion maybe has changed more than I thought. Because there's some things that, especially after the ending, and now we're actually watching it again, there's a lot of things that didn't really fall into place for me, whether I just wasn't in the right mindset,
sure,
or I just wasn't seeing the direction it was heading.
I mean, that was a lot of shoveling to do. If you don't,
I'm not going to blame him.
No.
It was two whole cars.
Yeah, if you don't live here, like 30 inches of snow probably sounds sexy. But to me, 30 inches of snow is up to my man boobs. Like, as I walk through it, I'm not the tallest dude in the Deadites, but I'm also not. This was probably up to lovely Miss M's like chin in some places down by where she lives. Like, that's a lot of snow.
Yeah,
that you shoveled today.
No, not an excuse though.
It is an excuse. I'll let you off the hook.
It's a fucking.
All right,
you're in the studio.
Fine. All right. Well, let's. Anyone have anything before we go to spoilers? No?
I don't even know if we need to go to spoilers. I could be wrong about this.
I think it'll be quick. I just want to. There's a couple things I just want to talk about.
I don't know what else we're gonna fucking talk about, but
All right. Well, I just want to play the
no,
spoiler
I mean
music.
after the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we just go?
All right, let's do spoilers.
Warning. Spoiler alert.
Kaiser Soze. It's Kevin Spacey.
Spoiler alert.
Bruce Willis is dead in The Sixth Sense.
Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Warning. Spoiler
It was an alien in Signs. That's not a spoiler, never mind.
Solvent Green is people.
All right, this is that was a good one. I want to do that. I want to add those in sometime. I love how matter of factly you said Soylent Green is people. It was Earth all along.
Charlton Heston in two of the biggest sci-fi reveals of all time.
Exactly.
The apes came from Earth.
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 That's like a Nerf football you get in the dollar store.
All right, so spoiler territory, folks. If you are going to check out Pieces of Talent and don't want to hear spoilers, just fast forward until you don't hear the music anymore. That fucking film. So the last 15 minutes of this film I thought were great.
Yeah, fucking amazing.
I was bored for a lot of this movie. And then leading up to that 15 minutes, like it sort of made it like kind of worth it. But I was like, that's why like I love the last 15 minutes. But I wasn't sure if the prior 85 minutes or 80 minutes, whatever it was worth it for me at the time. But now I'm finding out more, some things I didn't necessarily connect the dots to. And I want to like it more, and I may watch it again now. So,
Well, the problem is it's distracting, right? Because you think that this is a movie about her, but it's really a movie about him.
David, yeah.
Yeah. In his. So she plays it forward at the beginning, so he returns the favor by unhinging her of all of her what she considers her restrictions, but at the same time does it in a very challenging way. Like, all right, well, go do it. Now you don't have any excuses. Go do it.
So what happens here at the end? We see Charlotte is basically kidnapped, or someone gets into her house, and then she wakes up. She's in the trunk of her car, and she gets out, and then she, there's a movie playing. She hears her mom screaming. So she goes and watches the film, and it's David's film that he's been making all along, right? And
What shit she didn't know was happening.
yeah, so he basically gets revenge on these guys who wronged him, and in that sense sets her up for, basically strips away all the things that were like bringing her down and frees her, so she's free to go do whatever she wants now and to make her live her dreams, right? Is that
Because
sort of what it said?
if he just got thrown in the gutter, they probably would have tried to figure out who he was, right? Like the cops would have pulled him in the drunk tank, and one of two things would have happened. They would have let him out, or they would have... Who is this guy? He's not on the grid seemingly at all.
Yeah.
And then they would have looked. So if she hadn't rescued him, the gig might have been up right there.
And one of the refreshing things, the dog didn't fucking die.
Yeah. I said I will... everything I love about this movie, I will take back if this dog dies.
Yeah.
But
That's an Impala, I think. It's a Chevy Impala.
Yeah, you could be right.
I used to have one.
But what's funny is that it proved that he wasn't like... I don't know. He didn't think he was a monster, right? Like he didn't kill for any reason, which... Like that was his arc,
To him, he was doing a good deed, right? Like he was in essence, he was getting revenge, but in the process, turning that into a positive and helping out Charlotte. And I mean, we don't know what happened to David.
No, but there's the implication that he's not done with her,
Right.
whether she thinks so or not.
Mm-hmm. And there is going to be a sequel. So,
Oh, really?
yeah. So I don't know if you guys noticed either, but you see how colorful it is here? And so this reminded me of when they showed David making his films. We're looking at the very last scene here where Charlotte drives away.
Right. It's
Like
a,
he's filming that?
yeah, it's a static shot. Could be.
Like he's either filming it or it's to say that she's going off to that she's like I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this, but the other ones were how he saw things, because he sort of saw in film or dreamt in film, whatever. So this is sort of like I felt like the way this was colored looked like the films that we saw earlier. So I thought that there was something to that. I don't know if there's a connection, maybe that this is how he sees her. This is the end of the film. Yeah. I don't know, but
it's a great shot.
Yeah. Any other spoiler stuff that you guys wanted to discuss about this?
No, I think you kind of hit it.
Yeah.
I think I hope that I feel like the best way to see this film is hopefully you've seen it without hearing anything that we had to say, because I didn't know what this was at all.
Yeah, I
all
know.
I had seen was the trailer.
I hadn't even seen that.
Because, Kevin Crook, who, by the way, is one of the funniest fucking guys I know. If you've never listened to the Dorkening, check it out. And he's knowledgeable. He makes me look like a monkey with his horror knowledge. He's a fucking terrific guy.
Speaking of, we did get a voicemail from Kevin Crook.
Did we?
Yeah.
Said the Segway Police.
Let me go ahead.
Wait, the Segway Police aren't those mall cops?
Paul Blart 2 coming out soon. For real.
Let's go. Let's end the spoiler section here. We'll go to the verdict and we'll play our voicemail from Kevin in the verdict. But let's go. Let's do that. Verdict time.
Cool.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict
It's time for the verdict. That's what we've...
Was what?
In case you never heard it.
Yeah.
Time for the verdict.
I'm fucking tired. I'm so sorry. Like, I was tired and dying before the snowpocalypse, and I jacked off a lot and shoveled a lot of snow. Like, I think I dislocated my left shoulder, not from shoveling.
Your left shoulder?
Yeah. I've been switching it up lately.
Oh, Jesus.
So it feels like some weird, strange guy.
Yeah. He gives himself a Dutch rider.
Whatever. I am, when it comes to food and humping, I am insatiable. I am sorry.
The insatiable Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Insatiable Dynamo.
Being ugly does not have any effect on one of them, and I will let you figure out which one, but it involves hamburgers.
All right, let's for the verdict, let's go to Kevin first, since this is nice because we found out about the film initially from him. So
I wish he was here. I wish you were here, Kevin.
I want you inside me.
Jesus, are you David? Is that like the equivalent of sniffing a cigarette?
Those would be pretty babies.
All right, here we go. It's Kevin.
This is Kevin from the Dorkening. Dynamo had told me you guys were going to be talking about pieces of talent today, so I wasn't able to Skype in, so I just figured I would leave a message. So first off, Pieces of Talent was probably my number one favorite independent horror movie of 2014. I thought Joe Stauffer did a great job with this one. I thought visually it was stunning. It looks like a much bigger budget movie than it really was. I thought the story was great. Kept me interested the whole time, which is kind of a rarity nowadays, especially with a lot of independent movies. And I thought the acting from both Christy Ray and David Long was phenomenal. And not to be a plug whore, but if you go over to thedorkening.com or the Dorkening on YouTube or iTunes, we actually interviewed Joe Stauffer a little while back for almost 2 hours, and he gets into his whole history and how he started and like the whole background of like how the movie came to be. Then a few weeks later, we actually interviewed Christy Ray, who played Charlotte, and she's awesome as well. So go check those out if you get a chance, and also go over to piecesoftalent.com and you can pick up a copy yourself. And if you click on the link for a missing piece, there's a teaser trailer for the the sequel that he's working on. It's called The Missing Piece. So I guess that's all I have, and hopefully you guys like this one as much as I did. If not, I'll feel pretty dumb for talking it up so much. And I guess that's it. Have a great show, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Was someone taking a leak in the back?
That was
Was it you, Dynamo? Okay, I thought.
I just got accused of oversharing, by the way, in my personal chat.
In your personal chat with yourself?
No,
Are you having a chat with yourself?
I'm the only one that'll listen to me.
Belial Lovett is hanging out in the chat room.
Oh,
That's probably my fucking favorite name on the Fib right now, Belial Lovett. And Belial says, isn't it about time for the Cock Talk segment?
Oh, Snoop.
Dynamo, well, show's not over yet, Belial.
Yeah,
I just got yelled at for the amount of sea talk that we had. So
See talk, you can't even say it now?
no, I can't. Apparently, I got somebody's boyfriend bent out of shape, which generally happens after they see mine. Like that's when they start getting bent out of shape. But
Jesus. Well, thank you to Kevin Crook. Thank you to Kevin Crook for calling in. And yeah, definitely go check out the interviews with Joe Stoffer, not Stofers.
Oh, no.
Check out the interview, and also with Christy Ray. And it sounds like those guys had some good conversations over there with them. And they do good work over there as well. So go check out the Dorkening.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, let's do verdict for us. Dynamo.
treat.
That's it.
Okay.
Yep, I said all I had to say. Treat.
All right, RavenShovel.
Dig it.
I was intrigued by this movie, and then I kind of got bored with it. But then it came around, and I ended on a high note for me. I liked it. The only other thing, the one vigilante that came to my mind, Dynamo, I don't know if you thought of this too. I kept thinking of like some weird version of Scourge.
Sure.
You know, with a bar with no name and the strip club.
Yeah.
I just, granted, he didn't wear a white suit with a skull on it, but I don't know. I just kept thinking about Scourge. I fucking love Scourge.
I had a hockey stick named Scourge while I was wrestling that I gimmicked, and I swung it one time, and it fell apart before I hit the guy.
Good
right.
fucking story. That was great.
Great.
I like the vigilante better. Treat.
So, as I said earlier, I think I might have flip-flop on this one because there's, oh man, this, I really hate feeling like I'm unprepared, and I feel like for this review, I'm not as prepared as I should be because
Just bullshit, dude.
no, I know that's your gimmick. I'm not going to steal your gimmick.
At least you came.
F word.
Yeah, at least I'm here, I guess.
Yeah.
But so I actually was very bored through a lot of this film. I just felt like scenes didn't have any too much bearing on the characters or where it was heading. But then with the last 5 or 10 minutes, it sort of changed my mind a little bit. And
I got the worst booger right now.
Jesus Christ. And Dynamo had told me earlier, he's like, make sure you watch this film with some time because you want to let it sort of like marinate in your brain. And I didn't take his advice. And
It happens.
yep. And I didn't leave myself enough time, but I would have liked to have watched this film again, or at least given it some more time to think about. But the first of all, let me just say the film is shot well and looks great. As Kevin Crook had mentioned, this is a great
Ravenshadow's
looking
looking at porn on his phone.
Hey!
It looks like he's looking at a picture of a naked girl who shat her bed.
Jesus
looking at?
Christ.
You're into some weird shit.
All right, let's get through this.
Sorry.
I thought the script and the acting were very mediocre at times. And, having talked about it with you guys, though, I feel a little bit better about some of this stuff. But I don't know. I feel like this film makes a great demo reel for Joe Stoffer. And I think with a really good script, great actors, and a bit of a bit more budget, this guy could be something to really keep an eye on. And I definitely am looking forward to seeing what he can do. I will say I'm gonna watch this film again.
You gotta.
Yeah, after I haven't shoveled for
If you
for
hate
hours.
it, then I will relent. But I can't believe that you don't love this movie.
Well, I'm not gonna go with the trick. I originally was gonna go with barely a trick, but now I'm gonna say it's a tepid treat for me because you guys put me over the edge a little bit, like seeing some of the links that I didn't get when I first watched it. And that takes a lot for me to admit, I have to say.
I know. It's just crazy.
But there was some things that I definitely missed out on the first viewing. And now those, when I can piece them together, make more sense to me. And this film was, for what it is, I mean, there's not many people are talking about it, right? Like this is, you guys are looking at porn. What are you doing?
No,
I'm trying to read the chat. I only have one phone this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, the three of us and I guess Kevin are talking about it.
You have one phone, so you can't use your one phone to check out chat.
I'm using my phone that's usually for the chat for notes.
Okay.
I'm trying to look at Star Wars hoodies.
No, you're not.
It's Dynamo.
Yeah, he is. Though the last one you're looking at doesn't have enough costume on that. I believe it's supposed to be a character.
Well, J.J. Abrams is changing the game.
So the last 10 minutes, I think, of this would make a great short film.
But then you wouldn't have...
I know, but that's the thing. When I was watching it my first time, I'm like, man, the last 10 minutes would be a perfect short film. But now I get some of the links. But I still
look
think...
like Pugsley Adams.
I still would have liked a little bit more. I would have liked a little bit more character development, and I would have liked a little bit more narrative flow early on. So... maybe you can put it together a little bit sooner than the end. But, I mean, that's just me. So I will say it's a tepid treat. So I guess all three of us say it was a treat.
Yeah.
And so, Kevin also repped hard for this movie, saying it was one of, if not his favorite indie horror of 2014. So go check out Pieces of Talent. It is available on Vimeo. If you're into Vimeo, go check that out. You can purchase it through there. Also, let's see here, piecesoftalent.com/a-missing-piece. They're having a crowdfunding campaign right now.
Holy shit.
Where you can help the sequel get made. So basically go to that page and you can go ahead and donate. So basically it says if you would like to contribute more than $5, simply adjust the quantity field. So basically, they're asking for a donation of $5, but if you want more, you can donate more.
I just realized that Vimeo and Daily Motion, we're different.
Yes, they are.
Holy shit, there's three. This is revolutionary.
Oh. How do you spell Vimeo?
Vimeo.
I thought you spelled it DAL Motion.
Jesus Christ. So there you have it. Go check out Pieces of Talent on your own. And if you watch it, let us know what you think. I'd be curious to see.
Is this 2 weeks in a row with the worst reviews of all time?
What was last week? I forget.
Housebound.
I guess that was okay.
Yeah, it's wrong. I guess you're wrong.
I guess. Hopefully people want to check out this film, though. So there you have it, Pieces of Talent. Next week, we are going to review... Let me pull it up here real quick. I can't remember if there's a the in there or not. What is that?
The pulling it up theme.
Oh. So we are going to watch Iceman.
And Firestar.
Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
And we're not talking about... and we're not talking about Goose or Maverick either.
Miss Lions.
Ooh.
No, Iceman is available on Netflix, and it stars the awesome Donnie Yen. Right?
Yep.
Donnie Yen's a fucking man.
Donnie, translated Donnie Money.
I thought Iceman was the motherfucker who played Zod.
No, it's funny. Dynamo texted me. He's like, how about Iceman? And I was like, wait, didn't you just double tap that one? And no, apparently this is a different Iceman. That's the Iceman. This is just Iceman.
Are they both on the Netflix? Yeah. Or is one just on Netflix?
Make sure you watch the Hong Kong movie Iceman starring Donnie Yen. Okay?
Does either one of them make an ice bridge?
I don't know. We'll find out.
All right, it better be this one.
So next week, we're going to review a film from Hong Kong. We're going to review a wrestling show from Japan. It's going to be like the all-Asian connection.
Oh, shit, Luantron, call in, buddy.
Oh, man.
No!
He's Vietnamese, buddy.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, he is Asian.
I
And then
We'll have a Sing Sing soon, who is also a
an
Vietnamese
Asian dragon.
Yeah.
That's exciting, though. Let's
And
make
our
that-
guest may know a thing or two about Asian culture, right?
Yep.
So there you
Tim
go.
from Korea.
No.
Nope.
Not that that would be bad.
No, it would be amazing.
But it's just not.
I just don't know how much New Japan Tim watches. But no, we'll hook it up. It'll be fun. So next week we're gonna redeem ourselves. Next week we're gonna review Iceman, and we're gonna talk about Wrestle Kingdom 9.
How far in Wrestle Kingdom 9 are you? Were you prepared?
you're gonna fucking bullshit your way through, right?
Yeah. No, the first match was awesome.
What? You've had 3 weeks.
It's a long fucking match. It was a
No,
fucking
it wasn't like
nine-
12 minutes,
it
13
was a
minutes.
9. Here's the thing, though. Unlike drinking, I don't like watching wrestling alone.
You like doing other stuff alone.
Yeah. Someone come over and watch it with me.
Why don't you come over and watch it?
Oh, is that an invitation?
No, I don't want you here. Just kidding.
No, I'm halfway through. I'm enjoying it, and I love the fact that good old JR does commentary.
Slob knocker.
'Cause I feel like I'm watching Raw, but much
not
better.
But yeah, exactly.
Like a really good Raw.
I want to go home. I want to go home. Let's end the episode. So
All right,
I
well,
can
we
go home.
let's cut to a commercial. We'll come back. We'll
It's
do.
cold like hearth. I want to do check it off because I want to go home.
Oh, God. All right, let's cut to commercial break. We'll be right back with a double tap.
We interrupt our program with a special bulletin.
Okay, here we go. This is it. Greetings and salutations.
I'm Josh Gravel.
And I'm Scott LaFave.
Oh, good for you!
We want to let you know about the Arkham Film Society.
We're a small group of cinephiles programming classic, horror, cult, and exploitation film events in the Providence, Rhode Island area.
We have such sights to show you.
We try to meet a need for unconventional programming by providing affordable film events through our monthly screening series.
Be one of us.
Find us on Facebook and join our group by searching for the Arkham Film Society at facebook.com/Arkham Screenings.
Join us.
Check out our blog at arkhamfilmsociety.blogspot.com.
And stop by our Etsy and buy stuff at etsy.com/people/Arkham Screenings.
Yes, sir. You, sir. All right already. I'm hip.
We now return control of your television set to you.
I will be Burble.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the Yeti. Telling all the ladies that they couldn't be more fine and that we should knock those boots like Frankenstein. When I want to get my nerd on, I go to Facebook and I go to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. That's the place where I get to talk about all the hip new horror movies, all the cool comics.
What comics?
RPGs, video games, you name it, we're talking about shit on there. And you could not be any cooler if you were the coolest kid in school. Be the first kid on your block to swing their cock over at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, ask to join, and it's like Nerd Nirvana, baby, without the shotgun blast. This is the Yeti, signing out. See you at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
Follow us on Twitter at The Deadites, TheDeadites.com, and TrickOrTreatRadio.com.
different. So has Ravenshadow.
Yahoo!
How's that for
Ravenshovel,
timing?
dig it.
Dig it. So, all right, let's do a double tap. What do you guys think?
I think you're the host, and you go and dig it the most.
No, says RavenShovel.
When you're under 10 tons of snow and you can't get to your hoe, you call Ravenshovel. Dig it.
Dig it. All right.
When you got a body to hide, but you don't know where in your mind, you call Ravenshovel. Dig it.
Fuck the snowblower.
Can we hang this on the wall?
That pissed me the fuck off.
That must have been amazing. Like you were like all like to go out and shovel or snowblow, you have to get psyched up, right? Like you're like getting in the zone.
I was like Antonio Banderas in the Desperado. Like I'm in front of the snowblower, and I do a snowblower prayer where it's like, please, baby, please fucking work.
Please don't cut my hand off.
Please don't cut my hand off. And I primed the motherfucker. I fucking turned the fucking knob. And there's a part that looks like a drunken X-Wing, TIE fighter rather. So I'm doing it, and Wife and Shadow's watching me. And I'm like, no, this is how you do it, okay? I'll fucking do it. Stand back. And I pull it, and it was a bad time.
Did she laugh at you or yell at you or both?
She waited for me to flip out, and then I calmly put myself together, and then went to the electric start, and that worked. But it really could have been bad times. This sucks. I don't know how to fix this.
Why? I just don't understand why there's a string. Like, I feel like that should be a little bit more complex machinery than that.
Well, you'd think so, but I mean, that shouldn't have happened.
That's just a fucking string.
It really is. It's
like clothesline.
Anybody who works at Sears in the chat room.
Did you make your snowblower out of NCW ring?
I used what was around me. Buy a RavenShovel, folks. Really, they don't break. They don't break when you need it.
All right, well, let's do double tap.
When your friend's in jail and you don't have no bail, the appropriate ingredient to that cake, go to get RavenShovel.
Ooh.
You're supposed to say dig it.
Dig it. Can you dig it?
Dig it.
Dig it the most.
All right, Dynamo, why don't you kick us off since you were the one who sent me your double taps ahead of time?
You didn't?
It was very kind of you.
What?
You fucking asshole. You've been talking about all the time off you had, and you didn't send you double taps?
Yeah, I want to talk about...
Shut up. Last night, I finally sat down and watched in a calm, cool, collective way. My good friend, Michael Neal's friend, Drive-In Horror.
His friend or his film?
Film. Yeah, I watched my friend's friend make a movie. It was dirty. My special lady friend thinks he's very handsome.
He's a very handsome man.
Yeah, well, I would agree with that, but I don't like that my special lady friend thinks so.
Oh, it's okay for you to think every woman in the world is gorgeous, but you can't think a guy is handsome?
She could think Tom Brady is handsome. She can't think people that live close and are more successful than me are handsome.
Foxborough is not that far from here.
He deflates his balls. He likes his balls deflated, actually.
So I watched Drive-In Horrorshow, which is a throwback style anthology film, and it was fucking a blast. I really liked it. My favorite segment was the Meat Man segment, which was probably the most out of character for the anthology, but the most charming. It was kind of like a Stephen King story about two young children trying to figure out if their father is an infamous serial killer. I liked Pig, which was the first one. I guess my second favorite would have to be, the name is escaping me, but it was kind of the typical slasher one. And what I thought was the coolest about it is this little mini slasher succeeded in every way that the one in VHS 1 failed. In my thinkings of the failings in VHS 1 where they just didn't have enough time to develop it. But they didn't have any more time here, and this was a great little short slasher. It was very, very terrific. But they were all great. This is one of those instances, like, again, like, it sucks because everybody's going to say he likes it because he's his buddy. But my buddies do a lot of stuff that you guys don't hear about on this show. I got a lot of buddies doing a lot of stuff. Mike Neal is super talented. I love both his films. It is on Amazon Prime streaming right now. It's a $2.99 rental, but you can get it watch it for free if you are a Prime member, and that's awesome. So definitely check that shizat out.
I can't remember if I ever double tapped it or if we just talked about it when he was on, but I ended up watching that right before we had Michael Neal on last year, and I really liked it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, granted, there's definitely some budget shortcomings, but it's a fucking indie film, but he
embraces them, though.
Yeah, but he gets the most out of it. It's really good. I definitely recommend, if you have Instant, it's on there. Check it out.
The little troll guy?
Yeah, there's so many good things.
Terrific.
I love that shower scene was...
it was great.
Yeah, it was
not
great.
the type that Ravenshadow likes.
No.
It's the type that Ravenshadow would end up in.
Hey!
Yeah, I really liked it. The disease one was great. I loved it. The end credits were awesome. The opening credits were awesome. This was a really great film. I liked it a lot.
Cool. There you go. Number one, double tap. Double tap number one. Number two.
Imagine, if you will, a small child got a hold of some generic Suicide Squad toys, like some dollar store Suicide Squad toys. Okay? And imagine, if you will, he also got some of his some generic. What were the cyborgs from the Silvestri era?
The
X-Men,
Reavers.
The Reavers.
Yeah.
Some generic Reavers action figures and a generic Doctor Strange. Then imagine if he went on with all of his generic action figures to make one of the coolest revenge crime comics that I've ever seen, in the best Suicide Squad story that's not actually a Suicide Squad story. You would have Copra, Round 1, which is one of the coolest comics that I have read so far this fucking year, and one of the best reads that I've read in a long time. Imagine the Squad without the hindrances of being a DC property, and able to really get down and dirty, and you'll have this comic. Michael Fiffe is how you say his name, or is that Michel?
I think it's Michel.
Yeah, Michel Fiffe.
Fiffe.
Yeah, Michel Fiffe.
I don't know.
Is the writer artist of this, and it's almost fan fiction, but if you want to call it that, this is the best fucking fan fiction I've ever read.
That one dude is clearly Deadshot, though, right?
Oh no, sir, that's Lloyd.
Not Floyd.
Nope, Lloyd.
Okay.
But
Wilson.
It's fucking great. It is awesome.
It looks great. How do you find it?
I bought it, and I just pointed one of our listeners to buy it at discountcomics.com.
Is it
But you can also get it from his site. It's a trade
shit.
with the first 6 issues in it. I love it.
Is it color or black and white?
It is color. It's a very interesting art. It's almost like it reminded me at times of I'm not going to remember either of their names. This is so embarrassing to be sick. The guy who draws Jack Staff and Mudman, the British artist there, mixed with that artist that Tiny likes, who I'll never remember. But they had an MTV cartoon.
Oh, the Max?
Nope. No, not him.
The big head, the big
It was
fucking...
like, no, it was like the Black Glove or something like that.
Aeon Flux?
No. At any rate, it is a phenomenal comic. I can't believe I can't remember who draws Jack Staff or Mudman, and I love both those comics. That's how fucking dying I am. But I love this dude's art. It's real interesting. It's very cartoony, but still manages to be gritty at times. And this is a fucking straight out action story. They don't beat you up with a lot of shit that you don't need to know, but they're all there. Amanda Waller, Deadshot, Bronze Tiger, Duchess, Count Vertigo. They're all there. When the squad is on a mission and they get ambushed by former squad members, it's fucking cool shit.
What's Copra mean?
Copra is actually a hard meat. I think it's like a boiled meat. I don't know how it apply. I think that it's just the code name of these characters because the leader, who's like the bronze tiger sort of guy, is a Brazilian gentleman.
The All-Star Sausage Squad. The Kielbasa Corps. No, it looks really cool though. It reminds me of I don't know what the imprint was. They did Grips years ago. But they had a bunch of black and white. They had like Assassin Force, and it was like a lot of black and white. It looked like it was just like fan zine type stuff.
Who did it?
I forget the imprint, but Grips was the guy. He had the one blade. He was like a Wolverine character. You might know if you saw pictures, but that's what came to mind when I saw this. But I'm really intrigued by this. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna dig it.
Yeah, if I get picked up by my special lady friend, it's in the car, so I'll let you borrow it.
Cool.
But I got it cheap, man. Discount Comics. I can't say enough good things about those guys. If
That's
you
cool.
buy things early enough, I think it cost me $11. So and it was worth it. Worth it. Shade is in there, but he's not Shade. It's just fucking good business. And it's really like. And you know what? I like the same thing I like about this. I liked about Savage Dragon originally. Like, I was like, that's Dr. Octopus, but who fucking cares? Like, this is, a young guy's fucking fever dream from when he was a kid and he went out and drew it. And that's the fucking bomb diggity as far as I'm concerned. Like, I find that more sexy than even like an original character because you're putting your fucking childhood dreams out on the fucking chopping block. And I think that's fucking terrific. Because you're showing us, it's almost like doing a cover song. You're showing us why you love comics when you do stuff like that. So I fucking love it.
Awesome. We have Nathan Coy Vance. He's in the chat room and says, I'll rep for driving Horrorshow 2 way better than Chillerama.
100% better than Chillerama. And I like everybody involved in that as well.
Yeah. Cool. All right. RavenShizzle or RavenShovel. You got some double tap action?
Yeah, I'm gonna tap it up.
Tap it up.
Here's a card of Wade Boggs.
Number 26.
Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs.
On Sunday, there's an event you may have heard of. It's called the Super Bowl.
That's called the big game, sir. We can't say that on the air.
No. You're right. Super Shizzle.
Yes. With so many new options on
Options
on the Netflix, I'm taking it back to something that's not on Netflix.
All right.
And there's a void in my life since Sons of Anarchy ended.
Oh boy.
But what I'm rediscovering for the first time is I think the very first show on FX, or at least FX original, for a time they were just like another Channel 25 or Fox. They would show movies, but they came out the gate with the fucking, what was that fucking Nip Tuck?
Oh yeah.
Nip Tuck, and then the show I'm talking about now, The Shield, with my man Michael Chiklis. Also, many episodes are written by Kurt Sutter, the creator of Sons of Anarchy. And so we were able to get all 80 episodes of the series, and Wife and Shadow and I are on season 2. And it's really good. I'm not a big Law and Order fan, but if you like those type of shows, this show has more balls than any of them put together. And that's with Christopher Maloney. Watching The Shield and being a fan of Sons of Anarchy, it reminds me of discovering Preacher and then finding out that the same creative team of Steve Dillon and Garth Ennis wrote John Constantine Hellblazer. So there was a time where I would have the newest issue of Preacher I could read, but yet have back issues of Hellblazer. And that's what it's like. Very gritty, very raw. If you were a fan of FX shows, you'll see where pretty much their entire future cast came from. Very cool, very gritty. Highly worth checking out. Psycho, if you're in the back, you haven't checked this out, it's definitely up your alley. And they even name drop certain gangs. Like if you watch Sons, they make a reference to the Niners in this as a throwaway line. But it just kind of makes you feel that it could be part of the same universe as Sons.
What about Dynamo's gang and Lowell?
they would have a bad day if they came up against Vic Mackey. Basically, if you don't know, Vic Mackey is Michael Chiklis' character, and he runs a little commando unit called the Strike Force, where basically they're allowed to run amok and not give a fuck. Vic's a dirty cop, but he's got a heart of gold, but he'll jack you up like a fucking car crash if need be. Really worth checking out. The Shield. You can buy it. Use our Amazon link, and you can probably get it for like $12 if you get those points.
There you go.
Right.
All right, next.
My second tap really isn't a thing yet. It's news. It's news our buddy Clay dropped that actually has me really excited for the show for the first time. My main man, David Tennant, has been revealed that he's cast as Kilgrave, or a.k.a. the Purple Man, in Netflix original series, a.k.a. Jessica Jones.
Why weren't you excited about that?
Because I wasn't a fan of the Alias book that was what it was called.
The best book that came out like for the 3 years that existed, that book you weren't a fan of?
I wasn't. And here's the thing. Before Jennifer Garner took the name for her little program, Alias was the very first Marvel Max comic. And I didn't like the first issue. I didn't like Luke Cage's wannabe 50 cents. Oh, I know, granted, Luke Cage was never without his stereotypical flaws, Sweet Christmas and all that. But I didn't like the way Bendis kind of christened him as way too ghetto, way too gangsta, and I just didn't like that. You know, the first time we see Luke Cage as he's railing this character in the ass. All right, now that I say it out loud, it's kind of fucking cool. But no, it just seemed like Marvel's attempt to use the F word a lot and be gritty, and I just didn't enjoy it.
I think the F word in Alias was a character.
I know I'm setting myself up for this, but I just was really dismissive of it. I have since later, and I also stopped reading Daredevil the issue before he started writing it, where it got good again. I've also backtracked and read some of his Daredevil stuff, and I was also pissed off that he killed Hawkeye.
He is super polarizing, but he is probably the best writer of the 2000s.
And that's fair. I didn't like his deconstruction of the Avengers. I very much enjoyed his reconstruction of the Avengers. So where I'm going with it is in the comic Alias, there's a mid-card villain called the Purple Man, which has an ability to, he can control your thoughts, right?
Yep. He puts out like a pheromone.
Yeah.
To control folks.
Well, the character of Jessica Jones was a former mid-card hero who, after running afoul of the Purple Man, really has her body broken, her mind broken, and this character does it. It's revealed, if it's true, that David Tennant is playing this character. And if he's as sadistic as his portrayal in the comic was, I think we're going to see a really cool David Tennant make a really potentially iconic villain.
Yeah.
Set in the Marvel movieverse.
I also think that David Tennant is probably the most money that they've thrown at anything so far, which makes me think that he might be the big baddie that ends up being the problem that the Defenders formed to make.
That'd be outrageous, yeah.
I could be wrong. I mean, you know, you're not going to do Daredevil without Kingpin. I don't know that we've heard who that is.
Not Janine Garofalo.
What?
Not him. Pyle.
Not her.
Private Pyle.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, see, I don't know. Maybe he's the bag. I don't know. Maybe they are throwing some money at these guys. But
that
I'm so excited for the O's. I don't care much about anything this side of Avengers or the Friday the 13th video game. Those are the only things that are keeping me alive right now.
But I think it's going to be good. And
of course they're going to be good. What has Marvel done so far that's bad?
That picture. What the fuck is that? You don't look very happy.
I love that. I don't. For some reason, I got a pear shape head. I like it.
And in the comics,
I'm not very happy. I'm dying. For fuck's sake.
Why do you have to show people?
Because I don't want them to be surprised. Like I want them to be like, he's not dying, and then see that picture and go, oh.
He is dying.
Yeah.
All right. Coy Vance, who do you have in the death pool? Me or Dynamo?
He's got nice. That's how it's going to go. He's dying, but his hair is looking better than ever.
So, breaking news. Jimmy Olsen's been cast in the Supergirl series.
Really?
He's black. What do you think of that?
Who cares?
I'm just kidding.
No, it's not. Is that? No.
That's supposedly him. Makad Brooks. Let's see what this says here. So yeah, that's Jimmy Olsen right there.
Who cares? Jimmy Olsen could be the same character whether he's black or white. There's nothing defining in his Archie ripoff look.
I agree.
That makes him, make it important whether he's black or white.
Yeah.
It makes no difference if you're black or white.
What did Nathan Coy Vance have to say in the chat room, Ravenshadow?
He said, that's fair. I got Ravenshadow dying before Dynamo in a death pool.
Nice.
All right, fair. The smart money's on esophageal cancer, okay?
Esophageal smart money bet.
Yeah, that's what I'm
What's
betting.
the over-under?
Well,
There's always room for esophageal.
there's always room for lung.
Are we done yet?
Nope, I got to do my double tap.
All right, so.
All right, I think I actually have something. This is going to be, it's not going to be what I originally thought it was going to be.
So here we go. First off, Devin Townsend.
Nope.
Puts out an album every day.
Oh, Diantward.
I never tapped them. It was him.
It's me.
Although Devin Townsend does not put out an album every day. Buckethead does, apparently, though.
Yeah.
And I don't know that anyone really cares. I don't know. Is anyone out there like a big Buckethead fan? He's okay, but like, I don't know if he needs to be as prolific as he is.
He had a great album, great band with Bootsy Collins once. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, I know. Yeah, P begins with a P.
Parliament Funkadelic.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, I feel we're going down to old joke territory.
Praxis, is that it?
Yep. Yeah. That's the shit right there.
I had that album.
Yeah.
Didn't he kill Kilowog? And run amok of
It had Buckethead. Let's see, led by prolific producer bassist Bill Laswell, featuring Buckethead, Brian Brain Mantia. Who I could have sworn, I guess maybe Bootsy Collins is only in a couple.
I thought he was in the band.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Wasn't Praxis a member of the conglomerate? Dynamo?
I don't know what that is.
JLI.
Yeah, you're correct.
Right?
Yep.
With reverb.
Yes.
Vibes, brother.
You're correct.
Yeah.
All right, let me do my double tap. So I just watched this a few days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah. So I didn't even know it was out. And I saw I guess on WWE Network, they had a 20-minute, it was basically like a commercial for it, like a 20-minute sneak preview of the Randy Savage story, Macho Man. And it's pretty fucking great. Has anyone seen this here yet? Dynamo, have you seen this?
No, I want to.
Okay, so
I have a love-hate thing with Randy Savage.
why? Why hate?
He is a worker who his charisma kept making him a babyface, but he was the most boring babyface ever. But as soon as you fucking turned him heel, like,
It's gold.
it was fucking great. Like grabbing people by the face, like pulling Miss Elizabeth in the way. Like he was the most vilest person. The only time where I feel like it worked was the world title tournament where he went into it as a heel and won and came out babyface at the other end because he was still just grabbing brothers by the face and stuff like that. Like, I feel like it was good. It was the first run of him as a face, I guess, worked. Then Hogan and Elizabeth and all that jealousy. But later on, like the snap into it era him, like he just didn't have any offense. He just did the same 2 or 3 things. Like it wasn't, but turn him even when he was in the NWO, turn him heel. You got some fucking shit there. He's the fucking best. It was like,
Yeah, it's a cool documentary. I haven't seen all the matches yet. There's 2 discs on the Blu-ray set, and there's a whole shitload of matches, including one of the best matches of all time with Savage and Steamboat from WrestleMania 3.
think about how big he would have been if he came out during the era of it didn't matter if you were a heel or a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
And could just fucking grab people by the face and hit them with ring
you mean
bells.
you mean like the Austin era?
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably 10 years too early.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's a really good documentary. It goes into some behind the scenes stuff of like, sort of how Macho Man was as a person, and he was a baseball player and that didn't pan out for him, so he jumped into wrestling. And obviously his dad, Angelo Poffo, was a legend back in the day. So just, it's cool to see how he started, and just to get a nice behind the scenes look at who he is and how other people think of him. And it's interesting because obviously we know there was a lot of heat with WWF when he left at the time, and Vince really didn't. I don't know. Like people thought that he'd never make the WWE Hall of Fame, and he just got announced. He's going to enter the Hall of Fame this year, so it's kind of a big deal because they had a big falling out and never really mended the fences from what I know. But it's a good look at the man. He's one of the best of all time, especially in the 80s and 90s. And, he seemed like a good dude, like generally overall, except for his fanaticism and stalkerism with Elizabeth.
in like literally like one of the most sleazy, vile heels of all time. Like he was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Him and Jake Roberts. I feel like Jake got over and worked as a babyface somehow, but I feel like as heels, those two are without peer. Like so fucking good. You have guys like Ric Flair, where you were like, I want to be Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be Tully Blanchard. Arn Anderson cuts a promo saying how great Magnum TA is and how he's so athletic and so tough. He'd beat everyone, but he won't beat me because I'm more athletic and I'm more tough. I wanted to fucking be Arn Anderson, even though he's a bad guy. I don't know anybody who wanted to be Randy Savage in 1985 when he was putting Elizabeth in his way so he wouldn't get hit, or smashing Ricky Steamboat's trachea with a ring bell.
Exactly.
Like he was like maybe the last great fucking heel.
I know
he
one
was
guy.
so good. So good. Like DiBiase was a great heel too, but I mean you kind of wanted that money, right? You didn't want to be a jerk, but you wanted that money. But like Randy Savage was so fucking sleazy, and it was so fucking awesome. Like so fucking awesome. One of my favorite heels ever. He was the type of heel where if you put him against like somebody like a Ric Flair, like if that had ever happened, or like this would never happen in the WWF, but in Memphis, he was the type of heel, you'd put him up against a guy like Dutch Mantel, dirty Dutch Mantel, Zeb Coulter now, who was a fucking huge heel, and Dutch would get over as a babyface because him and Lanny was such fucking scumbags. It was great. They were the best.
So check it out. It's there's a sneak preview on WWE Network if you have that. I think it's in the original section. I always have trouble finding some stuff on there. And if you do a search for Macho Man, it doesn't come up. But it's on there. You can get a sneak peek at it, and definitely check that out. Use our Amazon link. All right. Next, this is actually one I'm probably stealing from you, Dynamo. So a few days ago, I think it was last week, you had posted on the Fib. It was about 10 days ago. You said, can we please watch this for the show? And it's a poster for a film called Nightsatan and the Loops of Doom.
Nightsatan.
You remember that conversation, right, Dynamo?
Yeah, I've since procured the Nightsatan records.
As have I, which is why I'm double tapping Nightsatan right now. And they do have a film. There's a short film called Nightsatan and the Loops of Doom, which we will check out in a future episode. Just waiting for the right time to do it. But let's play a little bit of Nightsatan. Here's I'm gonna play it while I talk. This is underneath. This is the theme from Loops of Doom. So apparently the album came first, and I think they made the movie afterward. If I'm understanding the chronology appropriately, but here's a little bit of theme from Loops of Doom. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit and talk over it just so YouTube doesn't get too mad. But I checked out the trailer and a little bit about this film, and it looks ridiculous. It's this band, Nightsatan, just in the fucking desert.
Playing jams.
Playing jams and fucking people
up. It's
like
Tiny White's fantasy.
It is. I think that's why he's not here. I think he went filming this or something.
I want to team up with Nightsatan.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Fight evil in a monster team up.
Huh?
Monster team up with Nightsatan will fight evil.
Yeah, I like it.
Titanic team up.
The Titanic team up you've been waiting for.
Ooh.
So, I forgot to get. Let me get the art up here on screen as well.
Is it all score or is there any vocals?
No vocals. At least not. I mean, I've listened to both albums and I don't remember any vocals.
No.
So all instrumental, sort of, like film score.
John Carpenter.
Very influenced by Carpenter, yeah. So
this is probably the most influenced of Copra of that whole wave that I've heard that dances around that Laser Hawk and
Perturbator.
I've never had a band that I listened to more and I could say less.
You had trouble with Kavinsky at first, didn't
Probably.
you?
Yeah. I don't know.
And Power Glove, of course. So
yeah, Power Glove too.
Yep. So it's pretty cool. We'll definitely check out this film in the future. It's a short film, so I don't know if we're going to do a full review or if we're just going to do a secondary review. But Nightsatan and the Loops of Doom, give them a listen. If you dig your electronic music and the stylings of John Carpenter, go ahead and give it a listen. It's pretty fucking cool. And they look fucking awesome, too.
Yeah.
This guy's got a fucking crossbow.
Yeah.
What are those things called?
Fuck.
Machetes.
No, it's not a machete. It's similar to like a
these right there.
A scimitar.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I forget what they're called. I used to know. I should know too. But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So if you're into it, check it out. Nightsatan. Dig it. RavenShovel.
Can you dig it?
So also I was gonna double tap this, but I figured, double tap is typically for us to talk to you about things that we've been digging that you may not have heard about. So maybe let's have a real quick discussion about this. I had never seen, up until Friday, I had never seen Game of Thrones, any of it. And now I'm 2 seasons in.
But you had no problem busting a certain co-host balls for, I believe the quote was, "You like boring TV."
You're right. I did say that because I saw bits of one episode from like the 3rd season, and I had no prior information about it at all. And that was like my indoctrination to Game of Thrones was that. Yep. And so it's not the best way to go about doing it. So I have been digging in, and it's pretty fucking amazing. And I don't know if you remember specific episodes, but I just watched the Blackwater episode. That was the penultimate episode, the second to last one of the 2nd season. There was the big battle with the chick with the
redhead chick.
Well, she was in it, but
okay.
It had wildfire, the wildfire on the boat.
Yeah.
That was the first episode that didn't feature other stories. It just showed that the battle of King's Landing. So
the lovely and talented Stephanie Wiley just said, "Finally, me and Ravenshadow agree on something."
What do you agree on?
Game of Thrones.
Oh,
see, it took a long time.
So I'm sure most people have seen it. I was probably the only person that hadn't, but I'm 2 seasons in, and I can't wait to get all caught up with the other 2 seasons. It's a really well written show.
I haven't seen it.
But honestly, like, I'm not a big. I hate to call it sword and sorcery because it's really not. But that kind of stuff is hit or miss with me. I can't quantify it. I can only tell you when I like it. And what's cool about it, and once again, we're the newbies to it. I'm only on season 3, up till season 3 rather. It could take place in any.
Oh yeah, it's not about the sword and sorcery per se. It's about the how do I describe it? The relationships between characters and how, like, just social. What?
She also, though, iterated that a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
She does not fucking like me at all.
No.
That could be a khopesh.
What?
That type of sword.
That's shit. How do you? That's not how you say it though. How's it spelled? I think that's it though. It's
Kossar?
Khopesh.
Khopesh. That's it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
David Khopesh, yes.
Khopeshio.
Joe Khopeshi.
So I don't need to say much more about it. I mean, if most people have probably seen it, I was probably one of the only ones. Apparently, Dynamo's never seen it. Dynamo, do you have any interest?
No.
Because it's about the character. It's about the characters. It's about the social dynamic. It's about like the fight for power. You know.
If I had a lot of time, I would probably watch it. But like, it takes me 3 days to watch a 2-hour wrestling DVD.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm on a mission right now to try to watch on average a movie. 5 movies a week, and I'm not doing very well, I don't think, but like that's my goal. So I'm going to be watching less and less episodic television. So you figure we watch 1 movie a week for the show, so that's 4 other movies I have to make time for to make my New Year's resolution happen.
New Year's Revolution.
Flash fact: Batman Begins had a little cameo by Game of Thrones as Joffrey.
Oh yeah,
he was the kid that Bruce gave him the batarang right before Scarecrow burned him.
It's always a good idea.
Fucking hate that kid, by the way.
It's always a good idea to try to tie something I dislike to something I think I'm going to dislike and try to get me to watch it.
You can't hate on Batman Begins, dude.
I think it's just fine.
By the way, Dynamo, I was one of the last people that was even interested in Game of Thrones because everyone was talking about it. I just didn't really care, but it's really fucking good.
Somebody at the door? Am I crazy?
You would appreciate the writing.
Yeah.
Am I going insane?
No,
yes.
That's the pizza I ordered.
Oh.
And Snow's my dude. Just throwing it out there.
I don't know.
Jon Snow.
Yeah.
No, I think you would. I think I know enough about what you're into.
I think if they made a movie of it, I might like it.
No,
they made a whole bunch of them. They're like an hour and a half. Fucking watch them. Pretend it's a movie.
Yeah, but I can't. It takes I don't have that sort of time to invest in that.
What you do is you watch 4 movies a week.
I enjoy reading,
and then you
books,
watch 2 episodes. Then read the
comics.
books.
Yeah, they made books out of it too.
Yeah,
they made books out of it.
I'm not going to read those books because, unlike what Ravenshadow accuses me of, I seldom read those type of books.
All right. Well,
I read books with men with guns, like shooting at people, and like, falling in with loose women. Those are the types of books I read.
A lot of nudity.
There is almost like
I have the internet.
There is an inordinate amount of nudity in Game of Thrones. I was actually very surprised by that.
Oh yeah.
And though it doesn't work anymore because I'm old and fat, I'm
a lot of guys.
I'm also in a band.
That plays twice a year.
Yeah, but it used to not play twice a year.
know.
So nudity's not going to attract me.
You've not seen Khaleesi.
I used to see girls naked. Khaleesi, isn't that the monsters from Dark Crystal? No,
That's
Skeksis.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
Next
we
week,
could end this
Iceman.
episode. In the chat room, this is about 15 minutes ago, Belial Lovett said Bootsy.
Who is Belial Lovett?
Belial Lovett, I don't know. He said Bootsy Collins played on the Monsters and Robots album. So there you go.
Flash fact.
Thank you, Belial.
You may not know this about me, but Lyle Lovett's one of my favorite songwriters, and I've seen him 8 or 9 times.
I hope Belial doesn't mind that I'm stalking right now on Facebook, but I just clicked on the chat room and it brought me to Belial's Facebook page. But Belial is the guitarist at Genki Genki Panic.
Oh,
nice.
Have you heard of Genki Genki Panic?
Book him.
Gotta check him out though.
Yeah, let's check him out. There's some demos. All right there. I'm on the Genki Genki Panic page. Want to listen to it right now?
Yeah.
Is that cool, Belial?
I don't care what Belial says.
I hope Belial doesn't mind.
Sorry.
It's a live rehearsal.
I love it.
Yeah.
Where you from, Belial? I'll book you and us and Teal and the Evil Streaks, and we got a fucking show.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Forget it. Unless you want to sleep on Michael Ravenshadow's floor.
Yeah. Well, I'll be on the couch, so...
Yeah, exactly. You better be open.
We'll have a summer party. We can make a tent.
That
We can,
sounds-
not step on the lava. That'd be fun. Come on.
That sounds pretty cool. Let me read the band members because I love the fucking names. Belial Lovett, guitar samples. Fat Squatch, drums and vocals, and Dr. Helltone on bass. Their instrumental horror surf.
Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Check out Geen and the Grave Robbers. These guys are right in our wheelhouse.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
the evil streaks, you idiot.
Why are you going to check out
Yeah.
Geen and the Grave?
They're
Go
no
back
longer
in time
around.
and
Yeah.
check out Geen and the Grave
But if
Robbers.
they were instrumental, it's what they evolved to. The Flash Fact.
That's not what they evolved to.
You're a dummy.
The female member of that band fell in love with me and could no longer be in Geen and the Grave Robbers. That's what happened.
Not
that's
true
the,
at
That's
all.
the origin.
Well, I was...
No.
The Rev's cool, man, and the other guys.
Tom C still has a cross. He's still going to strike through all his fucking messages.
Why is he doing
He says, hey, awesome dudes in Ravenshadow.
What's up, Tom C, my noogie?
What's up, Tom C?
Hey, Tom C.
No
All
B
right.
chains tonight. That's disappointing.
Oh, B Chains. Does he still like us?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to be appearing on the Chains program.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
I can't wait. I got 2 of those to listen to that I hope to listen to while I was snowed in.
I don't, we don't need to get into a deep conversation, but how come he hasn't released them?
I don't know.
Put him out there, Bob Chains. Do it, man. We want to hear it.
It's good, great content.
The people want to listen.
He should pay some smart producer to make that show, record that
Hey,
show.
I know a
think.
producer that can be bought.
Yeah.
That could use some extra money. So,
yeah,
hey.
so I think they make that happen.
Yeah.
Having a studio.
Call
There's a
us,
studio
BJs.
right here. We can make it happen.
It's set up.
So we did get, we have one voicemail. Oh, Tom C just got out of work, so couldn't be here for most of it. You bundle of sticks, Tom C. Just kidding.
Tenderoni.
I'm just jealous that you have a job. All right, we
Tom C.
got a voicemail from our boy Josh.
Oh, Snoop.
Josh from the Arkham Film Society. I think I should probably screen voicemails earlier, but I think he was going to talk about Pieces of Talent, but I'm not positive. So let's listen to what Josh has to say.
Hello, Trick or Treat Radio guys. It's Josh from the Arkham Film Society calling in this week, talking about Pieces of Talent.
Interesting.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about this film, but I gotta say I was just a little bit let down. I mean, I don't want to bash on the film, because I know it's a low-budget, independent movie, and it looked amazing. It had some good effects. The acting wasn't too bad, but it lacked in writing. There was no real story. There was no real motivation for the killer. And it wasn't like they were trying to do like a slice of life, day in the life type of thing with a serial killer. This guy had a clear agenda and grudge that they just never developed, and that they just kind of gave us a mishmash of cliches of, slasher tropes and torture tropes. That being said, I know they're in production on a sequel that I may give a chance. Hopefully it'll flesh things out. I know this was director Joe Stauffer's first feature, and it was co-written by him and star David Long. So hopefully they look back at what worked and didn't work in this one and can build on that for the sequel. I guess I'm going to give it the reluctant trick, because it was just right on that line. I don't know. I am going to talk a little bit about second watches, though. I had mentioned before about wanting to see the Babadook in a theater. Caught it at the local cheap theater. It's actually spent over a month at our local $2 theater.
Nice.
It works much better in a theater. The sound is amazing, and I even definitely saw more detail and interesting things in the background dark scenes. So that actually moved higher up the list with the second watch. And unfortunately, I popped Rec 4 on in the background while doing some stuff the other day. And yeah, I know I recommended it. I had fun watching it for the show. It doesn't hold up. And it wasn't even fun the second time around. So that's kind of sitting more in the middle now. But as far as tonight's film goes, Pieces of Talent, it's a reluctant trick. But if you're into low-budget independent films, I would check it out because it really does look good. And definitely keep an eye out for the sequel. I think it's called A Missing Piece. And I don't know. I'm going to listen to the buzz on that and consider checking that out. Have a good one. Bye.
Remember when
Thanks,
Josh knew some shit?
Well, the funny thing is he said a lot of what I was saying, though. Like, that I didn't think the writing was very strong at first, and I think that...
Neither of you two would have been as tired if you just bought a RavenShovel.
Can you dig it?
All right, it's getting old. Tom C says Babadook was pretty stinky poo, I thought. He obviously didn't hear Myra's review.
Yeah, really. You'll
Yeah, I like
see
it.
it better when Myra tells you how to.
I see everything better with Myra.
Ooh.
Myra vision?
Myra shades.
Myra cakes?
Ooh. Maybe Josh was just shoveling a lot. Wizard Island. They had snow, right?
Yeah, they were on the meteorological map that Bill posted. They were super fucked.
Super fucked. Is that an actual
Yeah, we
thing?
were only fucked.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Thank you, Josh, for calling in and letting us know what you think. I always like hearing your take on film. So there you go. You got Josh from the Arkham Film Society. Go check out the Arkham Film Society on Facebook, on Twitter. Check out what they're going to be doing next. I can't wait to see what Josh has up his sleeve for screenings. Hopefully, when the weather starts getting a little bit better, we'll get some more. We do not have any emails this week. We do have a tweet. Let me pull that up here. It is from our boy, Nathan Coy Vance.
Nice.
And he says...
Shouldn't his name be Nathan Coy Duke? Nathan Coy Babadook?
Nathan Coy...
Babadooks a hazard?
Nathan Coy Vance, Babadooks... The Babadooks a hazard. Do we have a show title? The show just got funny. Let's go back and redo
it. Just a bad old book. Only meaning some harm. They didn't buy it at a bookstore, but that kid got it anyway.
Tom C., are you fucking kidding me? He says Cold in July was great, though. You guys going to review that eventually? You're a bundle of sticks, Tom C. We reviewed that like a couple months ago there, buddy.
Making a way, you can't get rid of Babadooks.
Let me see. When do we...
Let's be a little more annoying than that kid.
Actually, we did Cold in July in December because that was part of our double feature cram jam, right?
Yeah, because it was on our... it actually was the best of the top 10, 13.
What?
It's it was on my list.
Yeah.
It was number 6 on the master list.
Okay.
Because I know if Tiny had watched it, it would have been number 2. Yeah. But that was the episode with Myra, episode 125. We reviewed The Canal and Cold in July. So there you go. Episode 125. Go check it out if you want to hear our Cold in July review.
Just a loud old boy, always yelling for mom.
So,
punched his cousin in the neck and got tossed out of a birthday party.
Nathan Coy Vance, Babadook's a Hazard, says, I didn't want to believe you guys about Leprechaun Origins, but it sucks in ways I never expected a Leprechaun movie to suck.
Come on, you didn't want to believe us?
My favorite thing about that episode when I go back and listen to it is not like the lighting or anything else that we kind of lean on Tiny for. It's how disgusted he was that the leprechaun didn't dress properly.
Well, to be fair, he didn't look like a leprechaun.
Yeah,
it was like a fucking... He was a bundle of sticks.
Looked like the monster.
Monster?
Like a monster.
A monster.
It's scary.
All right. Well, there you go. There's our feedback segment.
Remember children.
Remember children what?
Wherever you go there.
We're not done yet.
Come on, I want to be done.
All right, we're going to be done in a second.
I want to be done.
So next week, we hope to have the full complement of hosts back. Hopefully,
I doubt it.
Hopefully, Tiny and MonsterZero will be back.
I want to be done.
What the fuck? MonsterZero comes back for 2 episodes and takes a fucking break.
Well, it's supposed to snow on Monday, so you know he'll be fucking scared to go out still on Wednesday. So see him. Guys, it's bad out here.
Guys, I'm tired.
I live 5 minutes away from Dynamo, and we have 10 more inches of snow somehow.
It's a fucking drift.
He got caught in the Tokyo drift. All right, so...
It's true. He's got plenty of noodles over here.
Jesus Christ.
What would be on the top of the Babadooks of Hazard car?
The Babadook with his arms out like Freddy?
That could be cool, yeah.
I don't know. You can make it look like the general Lee, like the flag. What's that flag called? The Confederate flag.
The bad one.
The bad one.
The bad one. It could be like a book with like pages open.
I think it's called the Union Gus.
Union Gus.
Stars and Stripes, the Dixie.
Yeah, the Dick flag.
The Dixie. That's right.
Mama.
All right, Ravenshadow, any final thoughts?
Yeah, you know, when your snowblower fails you, go down the store, pick up a RavenShovel. You can dig it. Yeah.
Mama.
Dig it.
Mama, don't want to go to school today. Can we edit that?
No. All right, Dynamo, I guess that's it. Why don't you go ahead and...
Remember, children, wherever you go, there you are. Bye. I'm so hot and gross feeling, and my back hurts from sitting in this chair.
Why are you sitting? All right.
That's not why. It's just, it's not because of the chair. It's because of the fucking 10 tons of fucking snow I had to move.
Okay.
Because they took my gas can from my
Should
snowblower.
have got you a cot.
That'd be good.
All right, well, that's going to do it for episode 131 of Trick or Treat Radio, folks. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, hanging out with us, spending 3 hours with a bunch of jamokes like us. Yep. Join us next week. We're going to talk about Iceman, and we're going to read Wrestle Kingdom 9 from New Japan Pro Wrestling. See ya!